I'm waiting for it.
Welcome to Warcraft Reloaded, a podcast brought to you by Mash Those Buttons, covering World of Warcraft Classic and its community. I am Bobby, also known as Blazin' Bob, and today we're joined by Mel, aka Melorina. How you doing?
Hi, I don't know. I was very unprepared for that. It's like, that doesn't happen every week. I was trying to watch chat. You told me to watch chat, and so I was making jokes and just took me off guard. Cool.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I asked you if I was forgetting anything before we started the show, and I forgot to pull up the intro, but I made it through it.
Nice.
Did you though? Man, I wish I would have known, because I totally would have found something that you did wrong so that I could point it out. Just make you really self-conscious.
Oh, dude, I remember when Yip first got his green screen, and he was trying to get me to screw up the intro because he had his green screen like back in the back. Like, so you could see the whole green screen. It was just like a small part of his screen, but he had the cat doing the rockin' thing. I know everybody's seen that emoji, but he had the cat doing that in the background, and I didn't even see it because I was reading my intro.
Oh my God.
But we're also joined by Classic Go. How you doing?
I thought I was going to get introduced first because I think you introduced me first last time instead of Mel. So I was waiting for that. And then I got passed back up for Mel. So, I mean, I was doing good. And then we went live. Now I don't know.
All downhill from here.
Well, I had to sleep on the couch that night. So, lesson learned, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And joining us once again, we have the beardless No Hit Jerome. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing, I don't know, it's weird. I don't have a beard anymore. It feels like part of my identity's gone.
Do you feel
the ladies aren't crossing the road anymore when I walk by, which is pretty awesome. And things are good. I had so much self-confidence that I didn't look like a pervert without the beard situation. That I ran on the track today. The whole local high school band was there, and I still ran on the track with them all there. I mean, I left after like 10 minutes because it was really weird, but still, the confidence was high.
Nice. Nice. Oh, well,
I like it.
This is one of our latest shows, so I apologize in advance if it gets a little crazy. We've been boozing a little bit. Jerome might keep us in check. We didn't get a chance to send him beer, but where do you live? Can I actually order you some?
Yeah, I'm in Ohio, and we definitely need beer here for sure.
Well, in Colorado, I could order beer and have it come to my house. Although you did have to do like a $60 minimum, but still, you could order it. Here in Kansas, no way. I think in Missouri,
and in Austin, you can order any amount. I've had them deliver me a bottle of wine with my DoorDash. It's wonderful. For me and all my guests,
Of course, yeah. Do you put that in the note, like the notes, like this is for a party?
There's 4 of us here, okay? Just so you know.
Don't judge me.
Could you send 5 cups too?
Yeah, 5 cups.
And some ping pong balls.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wine. Okay. Wine beer pong.
You'd be real drunk.
Yeah.
I'd do it. Oh, BlizzCon? Let's do it.
I'm down.
I don't think there's going to be a place.
Come to the Marriott for some wine beer pong.
Maybe
we got this.
Set it up in the room. Yeah, we can bring some ping pong balls.
Are you going, Jerome?
Mel will be getting some cups.
Am I going? So here's the deal. Okay. The tickets look a little expensive. Yes, I want to go. Yes, I've been working out specifically for BlizzCon. We're getting jacked, but don't have the tickets yet. Not really sure, if they dry up or what, but yeah, it's like touch and go right now. Obviously, I want to be at that Marriott playing wine pong, but we'll have to see. But either way, I'll be jacked in time for it, so don't worry.
Yeah. See, we sold him, guys. He wasn't sold on the con yet, but we brought in wine pong, and it was like, okay, how could I pass that up?
You ever had the wine slushies with the it's like very low alcohol, right? But it's just like you're drinking a fruit slushy.
Yeah, have you ever had one that you think is really low alcohol and it's actually not at all really low alcohol?
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, but they taste really good, so you just keep drinking them.
Yeah.
It's in New Orleans. It's not a wine slushy. It's like a really liquored up slushy, right? But in New Orleans, you can get them at these little chicken and goes right on wherever the place in New Orleans is. And they're open all night long. They don't close. Did you know that? Bars don't
love
close.
to go to New Orleans. I bet Bob's been like 10 times.
Guys, I got there.
No, I've went once when I was a kid. But
I knew you went to New Orleans.
I got there at the airport, and I was waiting for somebody to get there so that we could take an Uber together to the hotel. And I go to the bar, and I was like, hey, can I have a glass of wine? They were like, yeah, do you want it for here to go? I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean to go?
Do you want it for here to go? And I was like, to go? And I was like, can I take this like outside? They were like, yeah. Can I take it in the car? They were like, yeah. As long as you're not driving. I was like, okay. So that's how my New Orleans started. And then we found the alcohol slushies, and it was all downhill from there.
See, every time I'm out of town, I just grab a coffee cup from like a Starbucks or from the room, but the ones in the rooms are always really small. But I just grab a coffee cup and I just take that in every Uber, and I just don't say anything. They don't say anything to me.
But New Orleans didn't care.
To them, it's okay.
I could like refill it in the back of my Uber, and they were like, cool.
Like, pour me some.
I'll never forget. Somebody asked me, they're like, hey, come meet us. We're at the Pirate Bar. And I was like, okay. So I walk around. Me and my friend, we find the Pirate Bar, but it wasn't the right Pirate Bar. Like, there was multiple Pirate Bars in this like little block area
you gotta
here.
go down to Fifth.
But that means it was the right Pirate Bar, because the wrong Pirate Bar is the right Pirate Bar.
Exactly. Right? We went on a ghost tour. That was fun. Had a couple people try to sell me my, whatever fortunes. I'm not into that. It's not my thing. I did buy my friend a little, what's it called? What are those little dolls?
Voodoo doll?
The voodoo dolls, yep.
Okay, because she's like really like into that stuff, right? So I bought it for her, and then I had my coworker take a picture of it and send it to her from her phone because she didn't have her number. And we messed with her for like a good hour. And then I called her or I sent her a picture of me with the voodoo doll, and I was like laughing hysterically. She was like, oh my God, I just saged my whole house because of this. And I was like, and that's why I did it. Because you saged your house.
Like 20 minutes ago, Go was saging his entire house. Or I thought that was sage. I don't know what it was, but.
See, Go. I'm going to get you a voodoo doll. Be careful.
It smelled like sage. I don't know what it was, though.
if it's a little tiny moonkin, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It'd actually be so cute. Like little tiny WoW plushies. Oh my gosh.
I have like a moonkin that's going to go like right here on my shelf, and it's being delivered right now from Brazil. And I ordered it like 3 months ago, and it's handcrafted. Yes, it's like crocheted.
Every time you say moonkin, it throws me off because it doesn't even like. I think you're talking about a mob in the game, because like when I think of somebody who plays moonkin, I think boomkin. Period. I think boomkin, and like it's funny because every time you say moonkin, I'm like, oh yeah, that is what it's called. Okay,
it's like he's saying owlkin, which is like that's a mob type in the game. Yeah. You're freaking us out, Go, with your moonkin ways.
Yeah.
I struggle like titling videos. I'm like, do I put boomkin? Do I put balance druid? Do I put moonkin? Do I just put one and I put the others in the tags?
You just put all three.
No. Yeah, you put.
Oh, Mel's lagging out.
Boom, balance druid / what?
/ owl. No, she's fine for me.
Ooh, it must have been
video
me.
pixelated, but
yeah, it must have been
audio
me.
Was fine.
Hey, Finn, will you stop barking?
Yeah, you're on my screen.
All right, hold on. Let me see what's going on here. Something's up. We're not dropping frames.
Stream was lagging too, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember Go wearing hats. I don't
Seems like
remember
it's
this at
okay
all.
now.
You typically wear hats?
I've got a hat. I don't know if it's in here.
I have no memory of you ever wearing a hat.
Go, that's a lie. I've never seen you in a hat. Like, that's literally
What?
just a straight up lie.
No, I feel like you guys
Never
just don't
seen
realize
you
you see
on
him in a hat.
stream or anything with a hat on, ever.
I can't tell if you're a hat guy or not a hat guy. Table Slam seems to think you only are a hat guy, which is like,
I've got my emo hair tonight, so that's probably why.
Oh, you're always wearing it backwards. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Like, when
That's what
you're-
it is.
When you're hiking and everything. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Duh. Okay.
I mean,
I'm an idiot.
Okay.
It just looks like I have a mullet if I wear it forward because I have the side shaved.
Yeah,
So
see,
I see it.
I
Yeah.
only wear hats backwards, and I wear them exclusively backwards if they are fitted. But like, I don't like that little gap thing. Like, I don't.
The kids at the track made fun
Like
of me
that.
when I was wearing a backwards hat, so I can't wear hats anymore.
Okay, let's talk WoW. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. All right. So I'd like to start off the show by thanking our tank patrons and Thick Lizzie, Croxford, Braxton, and Turtle Whale. I'd like to remind everybody we stream live on twitch.tv/BlazinBob. We also have started streaming live on kick.com/BlazinBob. I want to encourage you. The Discord server's starting to pop off. We're getting a lot of good questions. There's a lot of creators in there that you know. Please don't tag them because that would be rude. But, like, come join us. It's discord.me/Warcraft Reloaded or go to warcraftreloaded.com and the link is there. Also, it's in the notes too if you want it there. I want to remind you guys that Rested XP is still a thing, and I've been using it to level my druid as of late, and I hadn't leveled in a while and forgot how good it was. But the reason I bring it up, guys, is because now the hardcore the hardcore edition is either out or just about to come out. And it's even more in depth than I thought it was going to be. Like, it literally explains most areas. Like, if you're going to a new zone, it tells you the mobs to watch out for, where to watch out for them. It warns you that a mob is close. So you used to have to use unit scan and like you'd have to like plug in all those names on your own. Now Rested XP takes care of it for you. If you're looking to buy it, help us out. Make sure and click the link in the description or use code Reloaded. Also, if you love either of these two guys, what is your code?
My code is Scotty J. It's SCOTTE.
No, shut up. Don't you have your code?
No, I don't have a code.
Okay, don't use Scotty J's code. Use ours. Scotty's made more money
I've
than
also
me.
I've also got a code. My code is SCOTTEJAYE.
Yeah, right. You're cut off. We have no more guests.
All right. Well, if you love No Hit Jerome, I'm guessing if he has a code, because he thinks he has a code, just like he thinks he has a Twitter, it's probably No Hit Jerome. So if you want to support him,
whatever your code is what my code is. That's how it works.
Unfortunately, you're not getting paid if you're not getting on the site and putting in your PayPal. So
yeah, I don't get paid very much from it, but that's because I've never given anyone the code.
Well,
true. That does make it more difficult.
They are one of the best. Like I just want to shout them out. They're one of the best like creator sponsors. They give you 25, like a straight 25% of the sale, which is unheard of. Like usually it's like a 5% type of thing. So yeah, I encourage everybody to go check that out. The gold guide's still going hard, and I'm done with my commercial. All right. So the way the show is going to go is normally we do voicemails at the start here, but we're going to save those for discussion because there just wasn't a lot this week. So luckily the listeners carried us, and for discussion, we're going to have voicemails and Discord server questions. from the Discord. Reminding everybody the number to call in for that is 816-866-1066 or speakpipe.com/Warcraft Reloaded if you're outside of the continental United States. And I still can't believe that Zunder kept sending us ones calling long distance from Canada. Don't do that. Just go to speakpipe.com/Warcraft Reloaded.
Oh no.
Yep. And then we're gonna go over. We're gonna start with what we've been doing lately. We're gonna hit some news. Then we're gonna go on to the discussion where I just told you about the voicemails and yada yada, and maybe some chat questions from people in the Kick or Twitch chat. So definitely give us those questions. We'll all try to watch and pull them out. And yeah.
Bob, real quick. How do you sign up to your Patreon? You mention it all the time. Where is that at?
Oh, it's just at patreon.com/Warcraft Reloaded. Or if you go to warcraftreloaded.com, all of those links are there. Like all the ways to support the show and everything.
Okay.
Thanks, Go.
I don't really do Patreon, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, I don't do it well.
Curious.
I mean, you should go to patreon.com/Warcraft Reloaded and try it out. You know, see, like, say, become a Patreon, add some money in there, and see if it works. You know, I'm not sure if it works.
Just like put in $100, see if it works.
Yeah, just make
sure it's recurring for a couple years.
Yeah, and definitely if you do the Patreon, set it up through PayPal. So if your credit card expires, it keeps going.
Just thinking of you guys. We're just thinking.
No, it's actually a good tip for life. Like, I've done a lot of stuff through PayPal because it just makes things a lot easier because I change one payment in PayPal on a credit card and then it changes them all instead of me having to go to 17 fucking sites and change them all. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. What have you guys been doing lately in WoW? I'm just letting
Go first. I think he always has the most exciting stuff.
Yeah,
I just figured it was Go's time to shine, right?
So I found an incredible new gold farm, and it's in this.
Wait, I'm writing this down. Hold up.
Yeah. Take notes. Make sure to clip it.
I'm not gonna take notes. I'm not gonna do this.
No, I haven't been gold farming. I need to on EU because I have 5 days until my EU account expires for its first month. So I bought the level 70 boost on EU 3 weeks ago, leveled up to 80. I've been doing some raids, some dungeons, some beta plus dungeons. I leveled up engineering and mining all the way up to 400 plus. So I have nitro
engineering
boost.
is freaking easy.
Yeah,
in TBC, it was a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
In Wrath, it was freaking easy. I was putting it off. I did it with my rogue, and I was like, why didn't I do this from the start?
I don't know why people pay 6,000 gold for the mats to level up their engineering. It's so easy to go out and mine it.
It cost me 4,000 gold, and then the stuff that I sold, I made 1,500 of it back. And I did it in literally 2.5 hours, probably from 0 to 400. Although shout out to Coda from Mere Casuals podcast. He did let me know I bought all the mats and was standing in Howling Fjord working up the Northrend version of engineering, and he told me we could just do that in Dalaran right next to the auction house. And I was like, no, I think you can. I was like, I would know that. And he was like, no, you can't. And I was like, okay, you casual, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I was, proved wrong, which has happened multiple times with Kona. So it was good stuff.
Yeah, I'm up to 4.7k gear score right now. And I know Jerome has a video out on how to get to 5k. I haven't watched it yet, but it's been suggested in my YouTube feed. Like all of Jerome's videos are up
It's
there.
just haunting you, isn't it? It's just
It
there.
is. I'm like,
and you
dude,
can't get away from it.
I'm 300 away. Should I watch it to figure out how to get the 300 gear score? I don't know. Like it's tempting.
You're already pretty high. You might be okay.
Yeah. But today I was on like for a couple hours on EU. I got in a bunch of 10 mans, 25 mans. It was so here's something. This was my first. I entered a 25 man normal TOC, like the raid, and it was like
normal.
Yeah.
What?
Well, dude, it was just so I could get into it.
Are you a fresh 80?
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
4.7k gear score.
So I see. Watch the chat. See, like.
So I got into this run, and it was like main spec over. It was 3 soft reserve to begin with, and then it was main spec over off spec after that, and then it was trophies are gold bid, 1k min bid, and I was like, how does that work? So I got in there. I put my 3 soft reses in. One of my 3 items dropped. Lost the roll. Whatever. We get to the trophies. And the trophies start to bid. People are only bidding like 2-3k, and then it goes down to like 2k. Each trophy like got lower and lower. And then somebody asked in the raid chat, like, what happens to the gold? Does it get split? And like people are leaving the raid because they didn't get their soft reserves. And then like it got down to like 10 people in the raid, and like the last trophy got bid off. And the guy that was raid leading was like, all right, thanks guys. Yeah, they were like, peace. And so the raid lead got all the gold from the trophies. And I was like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's the technicality. That's a G bid. So G bid is where the raid just keeps it. And GDKP is where you split it.
Yeah, not gold bid. No. I need more rules ahead of time. Like I didn't expect that.
I'm really inspired by this very
I like this business plan.
Raid leading setup. I love it.
Dude made 20k gold in an hour doing a
normal mode. I mean, there wasn't no chance of failure or anything.
We didn't. I don't think we wiped once. No.
Right
no
after
Discord.
this, we're gonna go do a G bid.
That is.
We're gonna put together our own G bid TOGC.
Well, and probably more than half the people in the raid didn't know. Just like you. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my first time experiencing that, but. I mean, I got no loot. I got emblems. I got my 20 emblems, 25.
That's
emblems,
a win, though. That's good.
Yeah, I bought.
And you got experience now. Now you can finally clear the raid on hard mode.
Yeah, now I have logs. I have the achievement to give to everybody because everybody that's in the LFG tools like link achievement. Dude, it's a fresh 80. Like I can link you my NA achievement.
I've never had anybody send me that. Like that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like
I had that today. I linked it and then we failed the 50 out of 50. So I don't know. It didn't work.
So go. Mm-hmm. What have you not been doing the last couple weeks?
I have not played hardcore once.
With me.
Mm. I thought about it Tuesday. For real. I was thinking about it.
I thought about it too, but then I was like, Go hasn't messaged me, so he probably doesn't want to do it. I
thought the same thing. I was like, he probably doesn't want to because official's coming out soon.
I don't. But we should get on this next Tuesday. We should work up and we should go just say, fuck it. Like all in and just go do our 2-man dead mines. Like,
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's
and then next week on the podcast, we'll hear about how Bob and Go died.
Yeah, we'll start at level 1.
There's a lot of reset spots. Like if we're failing, we might reset and like add like one person, see like, if we can do it. But to talk a hardcore player into coming in on our 3-man, like, if anybody's out there wants to do it with us, Tuesday, get a level. What's the level cap?
I mean, we're only like 18. So
no, we're 20.
We're not 20.
I swear we're 20.
No.
All right,
it's been like
what is the cap for dead mines?
22-ish.
All right. Well,
if type in hardcore.com,
they're only accepting applications from 15 or under.
Come with us. I'll be streaming it. Go will be streaming it. Just work up a 22 and be ready to come in maybe we'll 3-man it, because I doubt we're going to talk a regular hardcore player into coming in and 3-manning the dungeon with us. But you never know. You never know. All right, so plan. We're going to do that Tuesday. It's a date.
Hopefully.
Awkward.
I'm getting busy IRL. There's
getting busy with your bone. What? IRL.
Go.
I mean,
I'm not taking no for an answer.
I got busy with my bone 14 and a half years ago, and well, I guess it's been 15.75 years ago.
I'm not even going to say when I discovered mine.
I got to add the extra 9 months in there.
Oh my god.
All right. You got anything else, Go?
I mean, how long do you want this show to be? I can keep going.
He's really dragging it out here.
On Tuesday, reset day, I did 2 10-man TOGCs, 50-50 clear from 8 until 9 p.m. And then did a 25-man, like these are all guild runs.
What'd you have for breakfast that day, though?
Oh my god, move.
Tuesday I was hiking, so I had the plums and the all the stuff that you saw in the intro.
What's your hike? What kind of birds did you see on your hike?
The birds. They're
kidding.
cranes.
I actually do have a question related to your hike. Do you wear one of those weighted vests to have an additional challenge while you hike, or do you just go out?
It's a weighted backpack, so it's not on the front.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
back.
I want to get into that. We'll have to talk about that later on the podcast, but I definitely want to get into like a backpack hiking thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a 45-liter backpack, and what I do is I hike out 2.5 miles. I pick up trash along a 1.5 mile stretch of like shore. And then I carry that trash another 2.5 miles out of the park into a dumpster, and I throw all that away. And then I hike the extra 5.5 miles back to my car.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I bet your heart rate is super accelerated, so you're getting like some pretty good
I'm sweating.
Heart rate training.
There's flies biting the hell out of my neck. It's brutal for real. Like it's insane how many flies.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
Yeah, but back to World of Warcraft. Did the 2 50-50 guild runs back to back, like clean. And then we did the 25-man guild run.
Oh, he's going on with this, isn't he?
Yeah. And like it felt so good. Tuesday was one of the best nights.
50-50.
3. Hallelujah. Yeah, 3 back to back, like 10-man, 25-man.
That's
awesome. It was crazy. I got 3 pieces of loot. It's been a great raiding week in WoW for me.
I've got a question for Mel and Bob. Have either of you gotten the 50 out of 50 yet?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Once for Mel, twice for me. I've got the 50 out of 50 twice in my GDKP, once in our weekday raid, and the weekend raid has still yet to take out hard mode a noob. I'm tanking on that, so Nettie, Discord mod, friend of the show, he's going to be on the show sometime soon. Beautiful voice, great accent. Nettie helped me out and looked over some of my stuff. There's some changes I could do with like using the Sunder glyph to help my team cleave down the ads.
Oh, you're playing a warrior. That's why you haven't done it yet.
No, I've done it 10-man on the warrior. Like, I don't think I've had a run that wasn't 50-50.
I've never seen a warrior on an Uberak ever.
Oh,
so
well,
you might be the world first.
No, we do it. We do it in the GDKPs constantly. Warrior's actually probably the second best ad tank because you're the 2 tanks that can interrupt both mobs.
That's a good point. We did just wipe from a lack of interrupts today, so
yep.
For the first time ever, I think I'll see your point on that.
Yeah, but Paladin can also freedom themselves where I have to call for a freedom. But I've also learned, credit to Zunder, friend of the show, gave me the tip to after the mobs die, intervene a ranged DPS or basically anybody behind the boss, and then boom, I'm out of the ice. So that's been really nice. But yeah, Blood DK has been kind of like the bane of our weekend run. The weekend run, like the Blood DK should probably be tanking the boss, but we've had the Paladin tanking the boss, and then my Warrior and the Blood DK tanking the ads. The Blood DK just doesn't really excel great at that. So it's been a little rough, but I've been working on my positioning. I've got a lot of practice at that. It's really weird because 10-man's so easy. You just hold them on the butt of the boss, like, and it's just like easy
Insane.
mode, right?
I love it so much.
Yeah, but like, yeah, believe it or not, the DK's the one that's been dying and not me. Like, but my Warrior is also like almost 5.5 gear score, so it's like a whole different story. But yeah, I've had like pretty much every 10-man I've been in, except for one in the last 2 weeks, has been 50 out of 50, and I do 4 a week, no, 3 a week at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm having a blast in 10-mans. I love how 10-man feels compared to 25. Like we got 49 out of 50 tonight on our GDKP run. We wiped on twins, one shot at noob. I think everybody at this point knows how that feels. It's like, we one shot a noob, but we couldn't one shot every other boss.
There was like 3 weeks in our 25 man that we one shot a noob.
It's only been 3 weeks since it's been out.
No, it's been like 6. This is week
like 8 or 12 weeks. It feels like
it's not
been,
8 or 12. What are you talking about? There's no way.
It's been more than 3.
5 weeks max.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. Yeah.
There was at least 2 weeks where we
this was week 6. Sorry, Mel. Sorry.
I grew and lost a beard during this phase.
See? But there was 2 weeks where we killed a noob on the first shot, but we had wiped 1 week on 1 week on twins, and then 1 week
1 week on twins because of a butt pull, and then 1 week twice on faction champs because we forgot to put like a shaman in the rogue group. Also, though, no, that week we were missing the second rogue, so we do the burn strat, Jerome, where like we do the AoE strat, right? So like
so bad.
So like the rogues are just spreading poisons all over the place, but there was only one rogue. I was doing both of the poisons, crippling and wound, but I was getting feared all day because I didn't have the proper totem. Tremor totem. And so, yeah, but it was really just we probably would have been fine if the other rogue had been there, to be honest. But yeah,
or if your paladins dispelled fears.
Listen, I'm the priest, and I dispel a lot during that fight.
I didn't say priest.
And it drains the crap out of my mana. But it's fine.
I think the second hardest fight is Northrend Beast, though. The snake, the worm boss, right? If I would never want to tank that. It just looks like such a hard tank fight.
Oh, it's easy as pie. I mean,
you make a mistake, everybody's dead.
Yeah. Well, the biggest mistake is if you kill too fast and then there's no debuff, or there's no buff to kill the debuffs. And then you have a bunch of debuffs left out, and there's not enough bops to bop them off, right? Like that's where like you're actually punished if your guild is too much of a pumper guild, which is interesting. I don't know.
That was a rough lesson.
Yeah, I think and then there's the whole twins thing where like it just kind of depends. Like, it's been so many raids I've been in 10-man and 25-man where we get that shield down, like the shield on the dark guy. So like we don't switch to light, but we try to break the shield on the dark guy with the dark buff. And like it's literally like a second before that cast is about to go off and you get the kickoff. All right, well,
Yeah.
Jerome, why don't you tell us what you've been doing?
Yeah, so I was just moving my character back into Halls of Stone for a second there at the end of your conversation. Just getting that warrior to 80 because I want to. I've been playing all the healers. I've got the paladin, the priest, the druid, but I just feel like my skills are degrading a little bit. Just only playing healer, so I need to play a DPS and kind of like min max that a little bit. So I figured I just bandwagon Fury Warrior in the last patch and just like jump in and just pump without putting in any of the dues or any of the time or anything. So
yeah, without having to go through all the time where they were really rough to play. Yeah,
I don't play things when they're bad, except Druid for some reason.
Oh,
Who's your favorite
Resto Druid were really bad at the start of this expansion, but
Resto's always bad. Never mind.
Not in the last phase though. So the other thing I've been doing was a little bit of the ICC PTR, of course. Smash the first what are the spinning boss, whatever he's called. Then we did the second boss, and we killed what's his name, the Deathbringer, Sauron. So those are some amazing fights. We're just doing a little bit of practice on the PTR. Yeah, and it's been good. Did gunship yesterday for the first time. That was fun. Learning and growing on the PTR. That all is, right. Yep. Not the PTR.
Yeah. Okay, so you've played all 3 healers. What's your favorite healer?
Okay, so I hate to say this. ICC is the phase of the druid. I'm gonna say it right now. Resto Druid and ICC.
No. What's your favorite healer in right now?
Disc Priest. Oh my gosh, they're so good. But
that's all.
Next phase, it really feels like a druid.
We need to hear about next phase, Jerome. Like we're stuck here. We're talking about the now. No need to go into the future.
Oh, it's Druid and Paladin. If you're playing another healer right now, it's not that fun. But next phase, Druid. Go. It's time to re-roll to Resto Druid. Is what I'm saying.
I got asked like what do Resto Druids do for Anubarak for like phase 3 for penetrating cold and all that stuff. Like how do you play Resto Druid for that final burn phase for a noob?
So we just have we do assignments. So the Druid will cover 2 people, and then one of the targets, one of the H-Pals will Holy Shock it. So the Druid basically rejuves 2 targets. The Holy Paladin shocks the second target. So that gives you enough time to keep both targets up, and then the Resto Druids can just handle 2 people, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. You could probably handle 3 or 4, but we're still 5 healing because they don't trust me.
5 healing?
Yeah, they don't. Well, they don't trust me.
They're like 4.5 healing, right?
Yeah, they would be 4 healing, but I'm in the group, so we're 5 healing.
I think we're 5 healing. In both raids, right?
It's the meta right now because there's 5 penetrating cold targets. It kind of makes sense.
I do think we are 5 healing.
I'm pretty sure.
Joe, you are definitely 5 healing.
Everybody except for crazy pumpers are 5 healing right now.
If we're 5 healing, I'm gonna talk to my raid lead tonight and be like, bro, we need to go down to like 3. Come on.
And then you're gonna lose your cape and the morale will drop.
That's the entire reason, like that we haven't dropped it in the weekend raid. People just keep dying from penetrating cold. We're trying to figure out what's going on, but
so there's this pack. I'm not trying to promote it here. The Foji Weekara pack. I think it might require you to like subscribe to him.
Switch to that.
But if you use the new version, it will call out who messed up the penetrating cold. It will specifically say who didn't do it correctly, and it will call them out.
Yeah,
no, Bob, we didn't. We just so what happened was Tim's realized that they had one, and then Foji had one, and everybody was using the Foji one and still using Tim's. So Tim's integrated with Foji, and so now the Foji Weekora is integrated into the Tim's Old War pack.
That's cool. So they're like working together now, like syncing up.
Yeah. So if you download the new Tim's Weekora, it has the Foji.
Well, that's really good because that's actually free. So you should probably use that. Then that's good. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so enough about me. What have you been doing, Mel? What have you been up to?
Nothing really. I did 25 man and 10 man. We did 10 man last night in like 20 minutes. Which was
weird.
Great.
My 10 man today took 90 minutes. I don't know what the common denominator was in that, but
we had a pumper group for last night's 10 man.
It was Doof and I were healing. We're 2 of the main healers in our raid, and she's a paladin and I'm a priest. And there was times where our main tank was like, guys, I'm dying. Like, very surprised that like he was dying because we were supposed to be healing, and I don't know what was going on. He was like going out of my range or something, but we made it. We did 50 out of 50 in like 20 minutes. We were good.
I don't think it was 20 minutes. I think it was like 30.
It was actually 22 minutes.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many seconds?
Jesus.
I have no idea. I just remember somebody saying it had been 22 minutes.
No,
Wow.
so we did 5 heal our raid. I just want to interject. Sorry. We had Table Slam was our 5th healer as Feral. So
he's not really healing, is he?
We had a Disc Priest. Disc Priest. I wish I could share my screen right now. Disc Priest did like over like 50% more than like the Holy Pallies, and we had 2 Holy Pallies.
Your Holy Pallies have
the entire raid, or just
a noob.
Well,
just a noob.
Yeah, but I mean shields, man.
Yeah, dude, Disc Priest destroyed the logs on that.
Well, like I'm assuming if the Disc Priest wants to really like pump the logs up, they make sure everybody's shield like has a shield right before you go into phase 3.
It's
and
a
then
lot
they
of
get
absorb.
all that healing from every shield that dies.
But we had 4 heals. We had
Which
2 Holy Pallies, 1 Resto.
That's not helpful.
Yeah, no, it's a complete waste of everything. Like there's no reason to do it besides pumping logs. So your priest is a little bit of a what do you call that?
Not to go on a tangent here, but a rant. But Disc Priest parsing is kind of like ridiculous. You're supposed to use the wild magic, right? You pre-shield everybody, and you got to do all the pre-shielding. If you don't pre-shield everybody and get big absorbs the whole time, you're never going to parse well. And
you're not going to parse, and you're not going to regen your mana well. Like you have to know when to shield.
In general,
no, you have to get an innervate. You just don't even worry about mana. You just shield everything and get innervate.
No.
Healer parsing is the same as tank parsing. It's cringe. Like parsing is for DPS, guys.
Dude, our priest parsed a 57. Our 1 Holy Pally parsed a 0.
I would bet Table Slam parsed 100 though on a Feral Druid. Healing? He must have.
Oh.
Seriously, during phase,
he was just healing with his passive heal. Like
phase 1 and 2, I shield defense. Tanks. That's pretty much all I do. And throw out a prayer mending. Like that's all I do. I'm very unnecessary in that fight, to be honest.
I don't know. People keep asking for my logs. I think it's the era of healer parses is upon us.
No,
I think
it's so
they're
stupid.
Looking for your logs just to see what you've done. Like you can see a lot more from logs, and honestly, they might even look at something like Go's Priest, where a priest wastes a ton of mana to shield everybody right before phase 3, when it's literally not needed at all, because you're going to go down anyhow, and you're really just letting the boss suck more life while that shield depletes.
I'm looking at their cast. It's all power word shield. Every global is.
I mean, that is the life of
that's
a
kind
priest.
of the Disc Priest life, but
that's insane.
Like shield, prayer mending, shield, prayer mending, penance. Ooh, that was fun. Shield. No, penance has a cooldown.
I guess. Well, hold on, Mel. Like, can
you
use your mana talent to get a whole bunch of mana back if you shield everybody before
you
phase
could,
3
and that's what Mel does, but I don't do that because I have Solace and all this mana regen, so I just shield everything without even thinking.
Yeah, you're supposed to shield before like some big AoE comes out, because then you'll get a lot of mana regen back, and you want to make sure you don't shield the tanks so that I forget what it's called, but is on cooldown. Because if it's on cooldown and you shield everybody else and they get their shields taken off, then you don't get any of that back because it was on cooldown. It's like a 15-second cooldown or something.
Soul, right?
No, it's not Weakened Soul.
Weakened Soul is what.
Yeah, I think it's Rapture.
So you can't
maybe
put a shield back on until that's off.
Yeah,
but that's not. There's a
Rapture.
Somebody said Rapture. It might be Rapture, but that if somebody, like if their shield gets taken off from damage, you get a percentage of mana back, right? So if you have if you have 10 people that have a shield on and something comes out at once and it takes all of those shields or does so much damage to those shields, you get all 10 of that mana back. Like you get the percentage from all 10 of those. But if you put it on the tank right before and it gets taken right off and you're on a 15-second cooldown, then you don't get any of the mana from
This all sounds great, but I just asked the druid for an innervate and he just gives it to me. And if he doesn't, then I just ask again until they get annoyed and someone else gives it to me.
I don't think Mel ever asked for
never
innervates.
had an innervate in this phase.
Mel like parses high as fuck, like, and like she also
I don't though.
Well, I'm pretty sure you had like throughout Ulduar, you had a whole bunch of 90 pluses. And like I don't look all at the time, but every time I look at her mana, it's just full. I'm just like, the episode with Jordy just changed you. Like it literally changed.
Does he not ask? I bet he asks. I bet he gets 7 innervates every fight.
He like Mel was healing one way, and then we did the whole priest deep dive with Jordy, and Mel just like graduated to a new level. Like it was nuts.
Yeah, I mean those are like selfish things, right? Like we had Jordy on to give me tips on priests, and then we had Subtle on to give me tips on pally tanking. It was just like.
And we had Simonize on to boost Bob's DPS.
Notice we haven't had any
on to teach me how to play Boomkin, I guess.
I bug Simonize constantly. I hope he doesn't hate me for it, but he keeps replying. But yeah, I bug Simonize on all kinds of crap.
You know the best thing to ask him for? Just make a spreadsheet and then just ask him like really in-depth spreadsheet questions. And there's no way he can ignore the question, right? It's just in his wheelhouse. Well, and he'll just make you like some crazy formula or something.
Friend of the show.
Spend half his day on it.
Friend of the show, Table Slam, was doing research for his crit cap video where he explains in depth how crit cap works with both dual wield and everybody else. There's a great video, but doing that research, he was using the Wayback machine on like elitist jerks forums, and he found a spot.
I did that back in the day for arena stuff. That's funny.
Well, he found a spot where you could pull the spreadsheets from the rogue guru guy at the time for both mute and combat and see everything that they had gemmed and everything in the end of ICC. It's really neat. Like it's really weird too. He sent it all to Simonize, so I think Simonize is diving into it. But like combat rogues were all gemmed in armor pen. And then mute rogues were all gemmed in haste. Because I think you hit the crit cap, you hit like a lot of caps like towards the end of the game here, and like your actual priorities shift on gems. So yeah. But I mean, we don't know, but it is interesting that you were still able to pull the spreadsheets down. I've got them on my computer downloaded. It's nuts.
I love using the Wayback Machine to research stuff. It's super fun. You can go back to old patches and stuff and see like exactly how they looked on the Blizzard website, because all that stuff is gone now. But you can actually go back and get pretty much everything.
I've never used it.
I just couldn't believe you could still download the freaking like Excel spreadsheet like file. That blew my freaking mind. That blew my mind crazy. But yeah, okay, so what have I been doing? I've been doing a bunch. You've
been leveling the druid.
I've been playing a bunch of Diablo 4 too. I've been enjoying that a lot with Mel. Yeah, I've been doing that, but I've been also playing a lot of WoW. I've been raiding like on all 3 of my characters. Well, no, I take that back. My main rogue just comes in for Algalon 25. Just to try to be ready to pay, $200K for a comets. But Yeah. No, I'm just no. 100K. No, 100K is my max, but I'm ready for it every week because my guild's not running it. So like, with Pummel and crew, I have a chance to get it. So my second rogue runs that 25 man, but for Algalon specifically, my main rogue comes in and just pumps on Algalon. It's kind of nice because I'm like, see guys, see, this is what I could do with a real rogue, with a real geared rogue. But yeah, so been doing that. Been raiding Ulduar on the two other, the warrior and the second rogue, 10 mans, 25 mans, TOGC, 10 mans, 25 mans. Been just raiding a ton, but I need a new character. I thought about making a new rogue. And I think I should have done that, but I screwed up.
Right choice.
I spent my boost on a druid.
Screwed up? Wait, you screwed up?
I did. No. I will tell you why here.
You screwed up by going feral instead of booming.
No. I screwed up by going druid.
No, dude, you're hurting everybody in the chat right now.
Yeah, everybody in the Discord call. I gotta say,
dude, come on, the wrong crowd. Pick your crowd.
It's bullshit. It is.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't go back now. But like, I am fucked now. Like, what am I gonna do when I can't instantly get on my flying mount and fly off? Like I am. No, I am screwed now on my other tooth. I'm gonna literally hit the button and hit jump and like cancel it because I'm just ready to fly off. Okay.
I fall to my death like 8 times a day, and it's 100% related to that. It's just part of it. Like you're just gonna die a lot, and you have to make extra gold to repair.
Dude,
just how it works.
And then on top of that, I'm like, when I worked up rogue, when I worked up warrior, go kill some shit, pull a big pack, kill a bunch, sit down, eat, chill for a second. Up druid, I just kill like 4 things, and then I hit my heal with a hot after, and then I hit my hot, and I go right back into cat, and I go right back in, and I have no downtime whatsoever. This has literally screwed me on like doing things on other classes. Like, it's absurd. I could do everything under the sun. I can solo anything with different tools. It's absurd what I can do.
Druid.
And I don't even have to get all the hit rating. Crazy. Like, I'm almost hit capped and I'm level 72. Like, what? Like, this, like, I don't miss. Like, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
You haven't got to the best part. You're not even level 75 because you're playing feral, right?
I've got Omen of Clarity in my bag, ready to put it in the slot. I'm just not level 75 yet.
This right here. 75 feral, game changer. You love it now? I'm ecstatic. I love it. You love feral.
Yeah, I'm having 75? A blast, like working up. Yeah, and it's just like, and there's so many things I keep learning about it, and like I'm of the mind that, like, you boost a character, you don't just start out using everything. You have to like slowly work things in. I'm slowly making my macros and everything. Like, I feel like, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like, because the biggest problem I've found so far is getting all of my buttons correct. Like, you know how one bar changes when you shapeshift? I need like 2 bars. Like, because
I've got to. Would you believe that the best druids in the game have taught me how to do this? You just have 2 bars. You just duplicate everything onto the second bar. I'll show you exactly how it's set up. That is how the very best druids play it. You just duplicate it. Like, no. You shift modifier the exact same. So, like, let's say you just put all the relevant things in that second bar. I can show you exactly how it's done, but you just duplicate it. You do it. I have 2 rows of almost identical spells.
See, well, I want it to just like, cause like, okay, so like I have a lot of things that switch. Like, so I'm thinking that I can make a macro with feral and bear charge in the same macro.
Yes, that is one of the core parts of Druid. Yes, sir.
Okay. Like I was about to make that macro today, but I was like, I'm leveling. I'll do it later and see if it works. But like, because like that's not on that bar that's not on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bar that like changes, right? And then like for healing and stuff, like I've got all that set to click. So like the only time I heal is if I hover over somebody's bar. So I've got healing, battle res all set to like basically wheel up, wheel down, change me to bear and cat. Like, but then if I hover over like a somebody's life bar, wheel up is rejuve, wheel down is the hot heal, half hot, and then the middle mouse button is healing touch. So I do like things like that, but like bear and cat is where I'm struggling with. Like I want like F1, F2, and F3 are like my rogue finishing moves, like the core ones, and like I want like bear ones up there. So I want like the 2 bars to change to 2 completely different bars every like when I flop. And I bet there's an add-on or something I could find to do that. But like modifiers, Jerome, are not my way. That's why I have like a 12 button mouse here. Like
no, the way I'll show you the best possible way to do it. You use the 12 button mouse. It's beautiful and you're gonna love it. Just I'll send it to you later.
Maybe I could modify it with the foot pedals.
You're overthinking it, sir. We're gonna get you all set up the Druid way in no time at all.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, cool. But yeah, so I've been ruined by how amazing the kit is for Druid. It's been awesome. Like, and I can't wait to get him into raids. That's why I was asking you about the boosting stuff, because I just want to get there faster. Like,
there's nothing better for ICC right now from the data than a feral druid, and everybody wants them. They're incredibly desirable. They bring all the utility. You pick the perfect class and the perfect spec
at the perfect time.
At the perfect time as a bandwagoner, of course.
Right.
Hey, well, I have a warrior too.
Yeah, true.
And a combat rogue. And we're both coming into our own now, you know.
You're reaching your prime on all of your characters at the same time.
Yeah, so I feel okay about bandwagoning on this one, but part of me still wishes I made another rogue, because like
I just think you have to expand your horizons. I mean, that's why I didn't make the duplicate character. I don't think you're going to grow as a player if you just keep making the same character. I mean, you would get better at it, but
yeah,
you want to get better at everything.
Every rogue that I have basically just gives me a whole nother chance to practice that week, right? And like with as fast as everybody moves through TOGC, and like as a combat rogue, you're swapping glyphs constantly. Like it is a fucking shit show with that. Like assassination rogues just keep the same thing and then they just throw whatever they want to in the third slot. But like it's freaking nuts. And I just Boone, shout out to Boone Ja. He came in and he did a VOD review for me the other day ago. And it's crazy, like there's so many small things that he showed me in that VOD review, and I think I might like publish it and put it on the channel just for other people who might be interested. Like it's crazy, like about like de-syncing trinkets at the right time and doing like all of these different things, and then like also the part of like how you have to like coach the tanks on how to actually get you in the right spots. So it's like, I would love to do another rogue just because it'd be more practice. Because after that coaching session, I did a 10-man and got 2 99s in a 10-man that wasn't even for melee. So felt pretty cool. I can't wait for Tuesday.
I'm just crying in my 5 druid level 80 tears right now. Sorry.
Yeah,
I love it.
Jerome, I don't know, man. I always thought that the like having multiple of the same class was a silly thing until I did it. And then I was just like, oof. And see, so okay, so to bring it back, like me like finding these things out after I've like 99 parsed most of Nax, 96 or higher post you know most of Oldor on combat rogue, still learning stuff. Now I'm taking on feral druid, and there's a lot there, right? Like it's not
easy. There's
a
having you
brain
watched
dead
the music
class.
video, and it's all covered in the music video. I'll send it to you later.
Music video.
Yeah, there's a music video that'll explain everything, and you'll be all caught up.
Yeah, but so yeah,
Mel might be watching it right now. Actually,
I've been having a badass time. And yeah, that's basically what I've been doing.
I think we're gonna touch on it a little bit later, but GDKP stuff has like I've been doing this week, even tonight, and that has changed a little bit for me. So I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's just move on to time for the news. All right, guys. So the news is pretty light, but wanted to hit on just a couple things. First off, there is a new. So this is the only Wrath news that we have, guys. There is a new pet for Wrath. It's a little murloc with a flower. If you spend $20, you get that, and you get a little like doggy pet for retail. But like the whole point of it is the entire $20 goes to the blue check. So what I'm looking for, charity that is trying to help out Ukraine. To be honest with you, I did not watch the video with Mia.
I did.
Kunis. All right, go. Tell us what it's all about.
Watch it.
Why did you watch it, Go?
It's amazing. Turn the lights off in your room. You know,
my God.
Get the mood lighting turned down.
I'm not a fan.
Is your bone out?
No.
I'm a fan of her personality, but like, yeah, she doesn't do it for me though.
What it seemed like was she doesn't play WoW anymore, so that kind of like
killed it a little bit.
Yeah, that was like. But she was like, you know, the community, gaming, pets, Ukraine, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
worth noting that the pets are Ukraine colored, so you get some
flag colored,
blue and yellow, and the Murloc pet will leave a trail of flowers on the ground while he walks, which is just fantastic.
I've seen people with the pets in game. I personally have not gotten one, but
I'm saving myself for Perky Pug. I mean, it seems like a great cause, but I just can't. There's only one pet in my life right now, and that's Perky Pug.
Yeah, everybody's looking forward to Perky Pug.
Coming with Random Dungeon Finder in Phase 4.
Yes.
4.3.4
patch of the pre-patch of Cataclysm Classic.
I think it'll be before that, but okay.
Before Cata?
Yeah.
What? ICC patch? Wait. What sources do you have for this?
Muted,
I have no sources, unfortunately. I just, from my research, it would take them additional work to not put RDF in. So,
honestly, guys, I don't know if it's going to be in Cata.
I think it'll be before Cata, is my take.
Or RDF.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think it will take them work to take it out. They can just comment it out. Like
they could comment it out, but it comes with some systems, right? Like the daily system where you do the random dungeon. If that is not in the game, they'll have to add in some kind of standalone daily system. So that, I mean, there's just additional work they would have to do. Huh. Yeah, I guess they could just change the dailies, but I feel like they don't want to do extra work.
I feel like they have to like realize it's okay now. Like I feel like we've tried to tell them or at least I've tried to tell him, but there's a lot of people that agree with me on this same thing. Random dungeon finder equals good. Random
equals money.
Like raid finder equals stupid. Like that's I think what like a good majority of people feel.
I only want the raid finder. No.
I mean, there's definitely lots that do, like a lot, but I think the majority of people, random dungeon finder good, and raid finder dumb. But guys, if you disagree, make sure to leave your angry comment in the YouTube comments section and give us a thumbs down.
Yeah, they accidentally added random guild finder, so
random guild finder. Oh, that's perfect. It's like, dude, Jerome.
I need friends.
It's like
that wasn't my idea, by the way. That was table slam
for guilds. You're just like,
that's a great idea.
All right, I'm gonna try a new guild today. We'll see if it sticks.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
it's a great idea.
I was using.
Then you get put in Go's guild. That would be.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Great.
I was using the LFG tool and I would put like 4.7k gear score, like GS boomy in my note. And then I would like list for every single raid. This is today. And then I would get whispers from people like, hey, link your gear score and your spec for this raid. I'm like, dude, it's in my note.
Yeah,
what do you mean link it?
That's
like,
just a bad like lead that just isn't looking.
I got it so many times. I can't tell you how many times today. Just one day, dude, 24 hours that I got that.
Just search comments on YouTube or just like look at the internet, any place people can leave a comment, and you'll understand the low IQ and the idiocy of the entire world.
Oh my god.
It's
yeah.
It's
using
it's
the
uncanny at times.
Dude, I don't know what they could do to like get it even close to the random dungeon finder. This is even raid. Like I haven't thought about looking for raid in a long time. Everybody says like no looking for raid. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Okay. Shoot me. I don't know.
Okay,
moving on.
Maybe it's good if they rework it and it's not just a like half the people AFK thing, like, and they still beat the boss. Like maybe you could retool it, but no. Like raiding is the top end of the game, and I'm sorry, casuals, like it's an MMO. Like go out, type a message to a guild leader. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm hurting others' fun.
With the LFG tool right now, all I want to do is like post
boom,
what
boom,
I want to sign up
zoom,
for.
Zoom. Just shake your up.
I want to, dude. I'm going to go on a big rant here on the LFG tool. So I'm locked out of certain raids. It still allows me to queue for those certain fucking raids. Don't let me queue for those raids.
Well, but hold on. Wait, is that an add-on that I have that does that? Like mine show a little triangle with an exclamation point that says I've done it.
That's
weird. I also have a weak aura that tells me when I've done mine, so I don't deal with any of that.
You've got the good weak aura.
No, the weak aura's gone.
Hold on.
Delete them.
No. Okay, Jerome, you have the good one where it shows all your characters on that account.
No, I don't. It's not that advanced. I mean, I have like.
I will send you the one, dude. It's so nice. It tells you everything. But no, what I'm talking about is before I got that weak aura, when I would open it up, everything that I had done has like this upside down yield sign with an exclamation point.
For it.
Okay, so you still can queue for it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. They should just knock that out. Yeah.
Go can't be expected to pay attention to the visual cue that tells him you're not eligible.
No, this is the thing. I can. Other people can't. We form the group. We get a 10-man sanctum. We get to the instance portal. Everybody's summoned. Somebody all of a sudden is like, "Oh, dude, sorry, I'm locked out of this." Why were you able to queue up for this?
Yep.
It doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
It happens constantly in the
Yes, it happens to me every day.
Yeah. Like every
I've had similar
VOA that I do, at least 2 or 3 people leave, and then we have to replace them. Like, yeah.
You guys, I have the perfect solution.
Like I
'cause
told you, people are dumb. Like I told you.
I don't ever run into this problem. I just don't do dungeons.
You just do like guild runs.
I just do guild runs.
Yeah, that's because
no
you're
pugs.
a disc priest, and like for some reason, disc priests are. It's got to be rough for disc priests because like their 4-set 232 gear is still their bis. It's such bullshit.
Yeah, I guess we're already fully bissed out, and we're just kind of waiting for ICC.
Rough.
So really nice. I've been having such a relaxing time. I don't need anything from the emblem gear or anything.
I know. They're always like auctioning off trophies and emblems, and I'm like, all right, peace out, dudes. Have fun.
Yeah, just leave early.
All right, well,
I've gotten some upgrades though. Like I've still gotten upgrades. I got
and Disc Priest is all weird. Like a bunch of their bis has hit on it. Like what the fuck? All right, but moving on. So next up in the news, this is all WoW classic era or hardcore. So patch 1.14.4 notes came out, and I'm not going to tell you guys all of the stuff. There's just one. You can check the link in the show notes if you want to read it all, but like I just want to talk about one thing. Made additional adjustments to terrain in Warsong Gulch to prevent players from reaching unintended areas. Now, with 2 druids on the show, I thought this would be a good opportunity to ask them, are they finally going to fix the bullshit wall climbing and everything else that goes on with druids in Warsong Gulch that makes it an unfun game?
It better not. That's the only fun. That's the funnest part by far. I hope they never change that.
For druids. What?
It's fun for everyone. Everyone gets to have fun chasing the druid.
Oh, it's not fun. It's fun.
Really fun.
It's not gotta catch them all. It's just like
it's extremely fun. I love that one player can outplay 10 people. It's amazing. And it's fair and it's fun.
It is impressive.
It's fair and it's fun.
It is impressive. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But
it's impressive.
It's not fun. Like fun would be the whole group moving together as a team, as a unit.
Death falling is the antithesis of, I don't know how to say that word, but it's not fun. Okay. Not fun.
That was perfect. You nailed it.
Death falling is what we see in Wrath, and nobody plays Wrath Warsong. That's gross.
Listen, it's not fun because inevitably nobody does it. So you just don't want that to be your only option because there's always going to be the random people that are doing their own thing, not helping the team. And listen, if you give us RDF, then maybe we'll say you can.
Here's what we want. We want RDF and we want additional random polygons added to the classic Warsong map to do additional jumps. I want jumps onto every surface. I want to be able to go anywhere at any time. I want invisible blocks I can jump up to that no one else can see, that require a small amount of additional speed that only a faster druid could get to, right? So no one else can catch me.
They're not only like getting away from the opposite team, they're getting away from their team too. So if you're like a rogue, like Bob, and you're waiting for a druid that's flag carrying to get up one of these like jumps that's impossible, pixel perfect, to get from like the lower level up to like the graveyard area of your spot in Warsong, then you can wait for that druid to get up there with the flag and then wait for them to get out of range of the healers and then be like, oh, cheap shot, bop, 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 kidney, bop, 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 and then you return the flag and you're like, oh, GG, let's cap. But dude, I hope that that's what they're eliminating, because chasing a flag carrier that knows those jumps that are like impossible to follow unless you've sat there in a Warsong like war game and practice those jumps and know how to get up these random invisible ledges.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating.
I haven't played every class, but I can definitely tell you, as a warrior or a rogue, the druid has to make a mistake for me to be able to stop something. And Jerome, I was wanting to ask you, because I haven't PvP'd since TBC, because I don't know, Wrath, like I'm just raiding on all these different characters. I started tanking for the first time, like had to learn it. So I haven't done it at all. I haven't played one War Song Gold. Did they add I remember at some point they added in a timer, like a 15-minute timer. Is that
so
in now?
There is the timer, but it somehow doesn't make the games feel shorter. It's a weird psychological thing. Or even though there's a timer ticking, it makes the games feel longer. Like the games feel really long in Warsong.
Well, I bet they all always 15 minutes long, right? Somebody caps once and then
like
turtles.
30 it's not 15.
Is it enough? Okay.
It's longer than it feels arduous. It feels long. And
I just feel like people would turtle at that point. Like
they always do. They always turtle. The games always hit the maximum. So I would argue the average match length is probably about the same, if not even higher, because everyone just turtles all the time.
Well, I had a 4-hour one once.
That's an outlier.
4-hour War Song?
It was pre-made against pre-made. And so, and my pre-made, I was begging them, guys, please, can we this was in vanilla too. I was like, can we
Vanilla or Vanilla Classic?
Vanilla Classic. Yeah.
4-hour Vanilla Classic?
Yeah. And my
Does
pre-made,
anybody...
they hated, like, there were like 3 people on the team that hated like 3 people on the other team. And they were like, seriously, no. If you were kicking, like, because it was a pre-made Discord for white main. They're like, if you leave, we will kick you from the Discord. And like, usually, like, you got great honor from this Discord. Like, and I was just like, okay.
That's my favorite part.
And I was a warrior. I was a warrior just in mid the entire time. Like, it's like
just getting smashed, frost traps all over the place, polymorphed for the whole game.
No, I was killing, a ton. Like, but like,
yeah, did you ever consider going for the enemy flag carrier?
Well, I mean, we did multiple different things. Like, we changed strategies. Like, I mean, over that 4-hour period, like probably like 75 times. Like, we tried different things. Like, it was like we turtled back in. Like, at certain points, we came back out. It was fucking horrible. But like, my role in the pre-made, they're like, just blaze and stay mid. I had like 2 healers, and I was just, holding everybody from getting across. But like, sorry, you're getting me.
Like fun.
This is why I'm glad I don't play PvP anymore.
We're talking about 1.144 because I have a rant to go on, but if we're talking about the new patch notes,
you can.
All right, so
you can go ahead and do it. Like, I just wanted to talk about that one because I thought it was interesting. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Thing to me is the Mock Garra, and there's some incompetence going on in how they're implementing the Mock Garra, and it seems to only bother me, and I'm really getting worked up about it because Mock Garra was supposed to be duel to the death, right? And there was no getting out of that.
Hold on, okay, so we just jumped from classic era PTR notes. Now we're talking about
I'm reading what appears to be
Mock Garra.
This is a future PTR for classic era. I suppose it is. Yeah, maybe it's slightly different notes.
Yeah,
on the classic blue post.
Yeah, they're both in the same thing, but one of them's hardcore service, one of them's classic era service. So they're doing all this classic era changes.
I don't like how they're combining all the news posts into this is a little confusing. But we'll get to that in a little bit then, huh?
We're jumping. I'm just letting the audience know we're jumping to hardcore Mock Garra.
And it's weird. The guy who killed me, and the only time I played the PTR, a guy dueled me, and I thought I was going to dominate him. And he just crit me for I was level 6 on a priest, and he crit me for 50 damage or something. And and he's here trolling me right now, just haunting me. I don't know how I hope he forgets that he did that.
Snola Kongur?
Yeah, he killed me. It was awful. And I was having so much fun. I was in a duo. We were doing amazing. It's my element, right? And the Tiras fall doing great. And I just died, and I didn't go back on ever since.
Oh my God. Okay,
so back to Mock Garra. So there's this whole idea. There's not going to be PvP in hardcore. They've got to do something to keep people happy. Everybody loves duels in classic, dueling, right? So there's the Mock Garra. You duel to the death, and that's it, right? You challenge someone, and then you duel to the death if they accept it. There should be no backing out of that, right? No one, when the Mock Garra was introduced, thought we should be able to back out of this.
We should be able to say like, oh, I'm losing. Never mind.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying that like even if they go out of range, if they run into that person in Ironforge, they should be able to. Well, see, but that would screw the person that didn't run because they could be in Ironforge thinking they're safe, and then like evil Makara dude who fled the duel comes in and is like ka ka ka.
Well, they agreed to it. I'm just saying there has to be a solution that guarantees someone dies. There cannot be this. So what is happening in the new patch notes is that the idea is if you run away from the duel, you get a 20% 3-day debuff of your attributes, your damage caused, and armor and resistances. So that is not a punishing debuff. For 3 days, I would just not log back in, right? Who cares? And there has to be you cannot just be able to leave these duels. And my thinking was they could build a little pit, right, in Ironforge and Orgrimmar, and you just get teleported to that pit. And you can't use consumables. It's like an arena, right? And it's just a 1v1 and nobody can heal on the outside and all this stuff that's going to happen right now. So I think they have to do a little more dev work to make it so people can't just leave. Because right now it's like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm just
running. The running seems very sketch.
It's not punishing enough to take a 20% debuff. At level 60, I'd take that for 3 days. That doesn't even really affect me.
Oh, okay. Here, we should tell people what you're talking about. You just jumped to the, okay. So in this same patch for hardcore servers, basically, if you flee and this could be subject to change, but if you flee a Makara, you get a coward debuff, decreases all attributes by 20% and all damage caused by 20%, armor and resistances by 20% for 3 days. So that is
find that to not be punishing.
That's what he's talking about. Really?
Even if it was 99%, it's not punishing enough. You're dueling to the death and you're escaping death, which is 200 hours of playtime at level 60. You're escaping by just running away. And that heavily advantages anyone that can run away, like a druid or a rogue. And,
right.
And
that's the problem. Is that like a shadow priest. Nobody's gonna duel a druid.
Yeah, you'll never kill them. You'd have to lock them down for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's just a little mini rant here. I know it's a little off topic, but the way that the Makara went from duel to the death to like duel until someone runs away, I'm not sure I like that, and I wasn't informed like this was going to be happening. So I just wanted to rant
about it. Honestly, it's so funny that they're putting so much work into it because I feel like it's only streamers that are going to do this. Like, and it's exciting for watching streamers, but like.
Well, streamers and
to be honest, streamers
pretty exciting.
Yeah, but streamers bring the audience, which bring the players. And I do think that if they want this to be successful, they are technically, in my opinion, putting their efforts in the right place, right? Like,
I also think Bob just doesn't want to lose to me in a Makara, so he's just kind of downplaying it.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong, bro.
If you're playing a warrior, I don't think it's going to be on. I'll be on a mage or something.
In vanilla, I could play almost every class. So what you want to do?
I'll be a druid and I'll root you and run in circles and you'll slowly rot down.
Okay, then I'll do mage.
And then if he starts to die, he'll just run away from you.
Yeah, I'll just immediately run away and take a 3-day 20% attribute debuff because that doesn't do anything.
And do you again in 3 days.
But I'll have it on stream and I'll have the clout at that point.
You're right. I think people that run away, the best solution, a permanent mark against them. It just is like there's always some mark on, like a buff on their character. They just lose a buff slot or something. Like
it should say like coward on their title,
and then who they ran away from.
Also, like I see,
and then it should like not allow them. It should like not allow them to ever duel again.
I see so many problems with this though, because like how do they properly say who's the runner and who's not? Like
that's a good point. Like, okay, so
that's going to be a complex algorithm to be like, oh, they ran this much further from the main duel spot where the duel could keep moving. Like There's a lot of factors in there, right?
Okay, no, but they said that they're planning on to increase the total duel area for duels to the death. So like I think there's like an area.
Also, no, that's an enormous hunter buff, by the way. That's ridiculously good for hunters and bad for warriors and other classes like that.
That would be awesome if they actually gave you a like in-game visible fence that you could see. Like just like every other fight in human history, like a boxing ring, like a MMA
octagon,
exactly. Like
that's why I think it has to be just a pit in Ironforge and a pit in Orgrimmar. And if you've ever played RuneScape, there's this duel arena, and you just get teleported there, and there's limitations on what you can do.
Same with the new Ultima Online. Like you're in there. Like being pushed up into the wall should be a thing. Getting knocked into the ropes and being back up there, like that is a thing. Like I boxed and I did taekwondo like for a long time, and that's a scary
I'm not fighting you at BlizzCon anymore.
Yeah, I'm not a black belt, but I am a brown. Although,
I don't even have a belt at all.
I'm probably not a brown now. I haven't practiced for 25 years, so
I usually wear suspenders.
I usually wear black belts, so I feel like that just means I'm a black belt.
That does count.
Say that.
True.
Yeah, that counts 100%.
What belt are you, Go?
Actually, I've never worn a belt.
I've got it tattooed on me, man.
All right, let me see.
What does that mean?
It means I'm a black belt.
Are you really?
Yeah.
In what art?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
It's backwards and upside down right now, but yeah.
Save. Oh, dude. So yeah.
Me too.
So you know how to curve your toes up with the ball of your feet so you can kick.
And I did ballet for a long time, and I know how to curve my toes up on the balls of my feet.
I have very bad plantar fasciitis, so I'm doing that the whole time we're podcasting.
How many bricks do you brick?
Bricks? We never did bricks. They did bricks up until like I think when I joined, but we did boards, and I did some crazy stuff with like a ridge hand, and it was like my left hand, my non-strong hand, and I think I did like 4 or 5 like boards like with my left hand, my non-dominant hand.
Yeah, I could only break
we had to do some crazy stuff.
Like I was like young when I took it, so like
this was like 4 years ago for me.
Yeah, see,
for recent.
For me, I quit as a brown belt at 16. And I could break like 5 bricks with a side kick, but everything else I only broke like 1. Okay, we're off on a weird tangent here.
I love it.
We're gonna the coward thing, like they're working really hard on this Makara thing, and
I don't know why.
Yeah, I just don't.
They're spending so much resources.
I just explained it to you guys. It's a business model. Just get your head in the money game.
But
it's just understand
what
Mel and I are in the money game.
Sense.
Okay, you got to understand.
You guys have to understand that streamers are the ones that are going to be doing this.
Think about
streamers
this. Think about the news articles about like, biggest streamer on Twitch dies in a duel or something. Like there's excitement.
People are
going
to come level hardcore characters so that they can battle the streamer.
Yeah.
And what does this do? This just brings people to the content. It brings other viewers to come and maybe try it out so that they can have this chance. It's a smart move.
I've always wanted to mock Grop Pokemon in WoW, and now I get my chance.
I will never Makra. 100% will never happen. I guarantee it. But I think it's a smart move on their part.
I can just to wrap up the Makra point. I can tell you it's very depressing to die in a Makra. It's really fun to win them. I assume I haven't won one yet, but it's when you think you're going to win and you just die, it's awful. And then the person who kills you will taunt you like for the rest of your life. And they're taunting me right now. He follows me around, reminding me. So.
Well, that's because you're you're a streamer. Most people aren't going to have that happen, but
they will. They'll add them to BNet and just follow them around. That's how it works.
Yes. If I ever beat anybody in a Makra, they will never live it down. Just so you know.
At level 60, I mean, you're really taking a lot of their time, right? It's 200 hours or more. You're really robbing them of a month of their life.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not robbing them. They have accepted into this gamble with you. And just because they lose a gamble doesn't mean they don't have to pay out, right?
It really is a gamble too. That's just the last thing about it. It's just I lost because of RNG is what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Every time I've died, it has not been my fault. I just want you.
It was not my fault.
Yeah. It was RNG.
He got a really lucky, like 4 crits in a row, and yeah.
If one of those was a dodge, you had it. Yeah,
I had it. I was wanding him down. He was running out of resources.
Oh my god!
I had a health pot in 67 seconds.
67.
You were so close. So close. All right. What was the last thing that just got announced? Free transfers are coming?
No, we are not there, Mel.
Not even there. There's so much news this week. It's crazy.
So the next piece is they're making adjustments to how how guild deaths are gonna hardcore deaths. So like basically like anybody who doesn't play hardcore like right now, if you use the app, it basically tells you when you can set it to tell you when anybody on the server dies, when anybody in your zone dies, when anybody in your guild dies. Blizzard is looking to like put guild deaths in, and they're also looking to put in level 60 realm announced guild deaths, which could be kind of fun for like if like hardcore elite when they did their wipe, like you'd be working up your little level 13 hardcore guy, and you'd just be like ding 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 ding, like you'd just be like, what just happened? So I thought that was kind of cool that they're actually like
that's a great idea. Not going to say they directly ripped it off of a different server. I'm not going to mention anything about that, but they may have. Yes.
Who was it? I was listening to somebody. I think it was in the background. I think Bob was listening to it, but they were saying like they should like leave the dead bodies and where they die for like extended periods of time.
So like
stay safe.
Yeah.
I
where you walk into like
wasn't Stay
cave.
Safe's idea, but someone in Stay Safe's chat gave him that idea and he liked it.
Hey, well, I thought it was a great idea. Like you walk into a cave and you see all these dead bodies and you're like, you're not. Yeah.
Why do I see Bob and Go's dead bodies in the entrance to Dead Mines? They've been here for like 6 months.
Right.
Well, I think
remembered.
I think Jerome said he was going to work up a level 22 druid and meet us at Dead Mines. I think that's
I don't remember saying that, but it could have happened.
Yeah.
No, I think
in 12 hours
is when it was going to happen. It'd be a great like try stream. It'd be a good time.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Two druids, one warrior.
I mean, literally, it would take you like 15 minutes to work up a 22.
No time at all. Yeah, it's easy.
You need a 15. Don't go in there at 22. Come on, don't be like that. Go in at 15.
We're not going with the full group.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Mel, did you just want us to lose?
Come on. Are you trying to flee the Makra here? Like you're signing up for this shit and then you're just running away, trying to add all these other things in. No.
Are you volunteering to be our third? And you're going to be our
Absolutely not. I want you guys to duo it. Like you said you were going to duo it.
I see. I want to duo it. Yes. Let's do it.
Don't give up.
Screw the trio. Sorry.
I just wanted
Jerome.
to hang with Jerome.
Sorry, Mel.
Like, just sue me, okay?
You broke my heart. Go.
We still can't. We can do the level 60 pre-made dungeons. We can 4-person it.
You guys realize no.
All right.
No.
What do you mean no? You don't want to BG with me and Bob and Jerome?
We'll all be playing druids after Bob started playing druid too. So
I know. Yeah, I know.
We can all flag run together.
I'll be on my
druid power. Yeah, Jerome can heal. I can tank. You can boomy.
I can boomy. I can star. Well, it's not Starfall because it's classic era. I can Moonfire.
All druid hardcore guild.
Yes.
Aladar actually tried to make that last year. He tried to make it all Boomkin Gank Squad, but I don't think enough people put in the effort. Dude. I think I had committed to it and then didn't do it, which is pretty guilt-inducing on my end.
Whoever that was
might Like
Tell
if you
him my
come to
name.
BlizzCon, he might
I'll
beat
do
you
it.
up. Like he's
Yeah,
pretty buff.
we haven't talked since. No, I'm just kidding. We have.
Dude,
I will wear a Boomkin outfit at BlizzCon if somebody brings a Boomkin outfit. I'm telling you right now.
No,
I have my boom
Murloc
suit if you want it.
Murloc onesie.
Whatever it is, I'll do it. I'm gonna be there Wednesday through Sunday.
If
Give it
you're
to me,
willing
I'll
to
do it.
wear the Murloc onesie the
Yes.
entire time, I might just buy it for you.
Anything. If you bring it, I don't have the carry-on luggage to do it. Anybody that does it, I'll do it.
Well, no, they sell them there.
Yeah, you can get one right at the entrance and put it on. They have a little changing room where you can change into it. Yeah.
Just the Murloc, or
Yeah, just Murlocs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've only seen the Murloc onesie, and most people use it for the walk of the Murlocs, which happens during BlizzCon.
Why is this not on like Blizzard's main page? I'll do it. Yeah, dude,
it's the worst sound ever.
I'll strut my stuff in that onesie, and I'll be
strutting.
Yeah,
I'll be
come
strutting.
on.
I want to see you do
To
taekwondo
the
in the
left,
onesie.
and I strutting to the right. If
Just
the
like that.
audio listeners could see this right now,
Go to youtube.com/mash those buttons and
nice.
You can see what just happened right there.
We've been drinking. I thought you would have said Warcraft Reloaded, but you got to mash those buttons in there.
dude. I'm getting
It's not a newbie.
Yeah,
Jerome's like,
I'm a
I need a
veteran.
beer.
I would have said Warcraft Reloaded. I was just realizing that I would have said it wrong.
I got this.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, if you just Google Warcraft Reloaded, the mash those buttons will come up.
You'll get there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So for the last piece of news, Justin Go actually sent it to us, but Okona from Mere Casuals Podcast tried to help us out and send it to us. So we appreciate that. Go listen to Mere Casuals Podcast, Mere Casuals Podcast, Mere Casuals Podcast. All right, so the news is free transfers are coming Monday. Now you guys will be getting this on Tuesday. If you listen on YouTube, you'll probably get it Monday night. And if you're a patron, well, you're going to get it tomorrow night, which is Saturday night. So patreon.com/Warcraft Reload. See, I just need to drink a lot during, like, I could like pimp stuff. If I drink a lot, I just can't do it.
Yeah, he's all about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so free transfers coming Monday, July 31st. You can go from Aranicus to Faralina, Aranicus to Benediction, Aranicus to Whitemane, Sulfurus to Faralina, Sulfurus to Benediction, Sulfurus to Whitemane. Did I do that okay?
So basically, all the dead servers can go to all the really big servers.
They're not dead. No, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
These servers
these are the servers that were the what's it called servers, right?
Like the master servers?
No, the fresh servers, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
No. Nope. These are these were progressive servers. And they have like 4.5 to 5K like active raiders right now. And they're trying to switch them to like 30K pop servers right now. Makes no sense to me.
Well, hold on. Are we sure? I should have looked that up before we started. Yeah. Are like, I don't think Benedictions is still at 30K.
Benediction is 30K. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Go. I looked at this a couple weeks ago, and we were at like 22K.
Oh, talk brought some people back.
Holy shit!
It might
rating is up, guys. Down. Holy crap! Dude. I haven't looked at this for like.
This makes
I haven't looked
no
at this
sense
for 4 weeks.
I'd like to interject as well that this is one of the most confusing things I've seen. Yes, because we were told that mega servers were dead. Like they can't handle them with the server count. Like it's just the servers don't work for them. Aranicus exists basically to offload people right from the mega servers to a different server where they're going to build all these new communities and all this stuff. And it worked. There were lots of people on Aranicus. It worked out really well, right? Weren't there thousands of people raiding? And now here we are, and they're bringing everyone back to the mega server just in time for Ice Crown Citadel, where there will be queues again. and then
makes no sense. I don't know what's going on. And this was like right before we started the show, so it's like, what is really going on here? Like, what's happening?
The prediction man here might say that they expect a lot of people to be playing hardcore in the next couple months, maybe, and they are just sort of like cutting, maybe like trying to funnel everyone together when the server is going to dip, right? So more people have groups and stuff, maybe, and then ICC comes and then they deal with it from there.
Jerome, if your prediction from earlier in the show is correct, Random Dungeon Finder will be in, so the people from small servers don't have to worry about that, right?
Well, I have no inside information that RDF is coming. I just hope it's coming.
Yeah, but you said that they'd have to do a lot of work to take it out, but like that doesn't fix them getting into raids, though. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that Iranicus had issues with raids. It looked like it was doing well. I checked the population last week just because I was curious, and it didn't seem bad at all. It seemed like perfectly viable.
I think they've figured out something with the servers. Like, it's like the lag on Tuesdays on Benediction has like been way less than it was way early on, right? Like, I feel like they figured something out. Like, I feel like the IT guys have found a way to like make the mega servers work. That's my only guess.
Because didn't they recently move us to like the Dragonflight something?
Yeah, we're on pretty much the Dragonflight client, from my understanding.
Yep. Which
do you think that changed anything?
Hold on. I just want to say something real quick. The menu from the Dragonflight, like where you could search, like you like go to like you go to your settings, and you could just search at the top right and just find everything so easy. You don't have to like click on each option and scroll down slowly and read everything. You just be like, I need to turn on auto loot. I type in auto, boom.
You know what? I'm going to come at it with a new angle, because I was kind of annoyed, right? I'm like, I hate change. So, but you're so positive about this that it's making me kind of wish I liked it. So I'm going to try to like it this time.
Dude, okay,
I mean, me and Mel are like, why is it different? We don't like it different.
Right.
The only reason I am positive on it is because, okay, so first night of TOGC, it's Saturday. TOGC launched on Thursday. Pummel was nice enough to let me in one of his 25-man GDKPs with my rogue. We're like standing there. We're 5 minutes from poll. I've got everything set up, and like my add-ons are giving me the stupid LUA errors, right? And I'm like, okay, I Google really quick, how do I turn off LUA errors? And like a dumbass, I just copy and paste what they tell me, the command they tell me to paste in. What that command does is set my entire client to default. So all of a sudden, everything changed. Like my cloak showed back on, auto loot was off, like, and like way more.
No, get it off.
So
the camera zoomed back in again.
So then I
started snapping to your character.
I like stupidly thought like, oh, okay, I'll use my slot add-on to just copy. Like I've got my thing copied there. I'll just restore that, and then restoring that just made double of every add-on that I had, and like screwed everything up even more. And I'm like, now it's like 2 minutes before poll.
God.
It's amazing.
And chat goes. Like, I'm like, I just need to change just a couple things. I need to change this, and this, and I don't know where it is because they just changed this whole settings thing. And chat's like, well, you can just use the search thing at the top right. And I was like, search thing. I was like, ooh. I was like, it was perfect. Like, I fixed it in the 2 minutes we went, and the run was good. Like, it was just like, yeah.
What a testimonial. Is this, are you being paid by the Blizzard UI designers? What? Wow, this is great.
It like, if you could see
this is the first nice thing anyone
VOD,
said about it so far, so that's great.
If you could see that VOD, I was freaking out because I'm like, Pummel's not gonna let me come to the next one. Oh my god.
He's probably like yelling at me for something too, and I'm sure I had the utmost sympathy for him. Like, I'm sure I was very supportive in that actual moment.
All right, I'm sorry. I just derailed you on that. You were talking about the new UI.
I was just saying, do you think that the
Dragonflight client?
Yeah, do you think that had anything to do with potentially why mega servers would be more available? I have no idea.
I'm so confused by all of this. I don't even want to give a take anymore. Like, this doesn't make sense. But
yeah, I have no clue. They let them, like, literally Benediction was down to 22K just like 4 weeks ago. I can't believe it's back up to like what's
Irenicus at right now?
Irenicus is like
3,800.
Yeah, 3.8K, and it's all Horde. And
that's more than enough, though. It's not the biggest, but there was a raiding community. It was higher a couple weeks ago too. It was significantly higher. So,
but they're allowing.
How large is Sulfuras?
Sulfuras is 4,700.
But they're allowing them all to go to the same 3 servers: Faralina, Benediction, and Whitemane.
Yeah, the same 3 very large servers.
It also doesn't make any sense because Benediction is a Alliance server, and Sulfuras and Irenicus are Horde servers.
Exactly. It why
makes no sense.
Well, no, but it does make sense with the.
What do you mean it makes sense?
Okay.
Sorry.
This one.
Go ahead, Bob.
It makes sense with just that they have faction change in the game, and like they're gonna give you a free transfer, and now you can finally switch your Horde to play with Alliance or your Alliance to play with Horde. Like,
no, just Horde to play with Alliance. There is no Alliance to Horde in this situation at all.
If they're doing this for a cash grab,
Jerome, you should come play Alliance with us on Benediction. But
I would prefer to. The racials for PvP are way better, but PvP. And also the Sourfang RP on Horde is horrible. It's like 4 minutes long of like him finding his son or whatever. You can't win a speedrunning competition as Horde. I'm telling you. You got to switch to Alliance just for the world first.
Well, and we're definitely so I haven't looked at it for 4 weeks, but we're now up to like across all realms, we're up to 55.7% Horde, 44.3% Alliance. Like that was more like 52% Horde. Yeah, we're starting to see. And if they don't make a change, if they're going to bring out Kata, make a change to racials, you freaking awesome people gentlemen at Blizzard.
Awesome people,
please use your brains and make a change to that.
Guys, can we just be honest though? No matter what, unless they make them the exact same racials across both factions,
they could do.
Okay, but that is the only way that there would not be some sort of thing that somebody could exploit.
You just make it so that like you have to do a long ass quest line to change racials, right?
Or a gold sink. Yep.
Yeah, maybe a gold sink.
What if you could just buy different racials?
Maybe
could we put it in the store and you get like a pet and a racial ability? Let's just maybe go all in here, guys.
Yeah, maybe you do both. You do a gold sink for the super sweaties to get gold out of the economy. I know, and then you do like a long quest line for people that want to like change, but like. Literally the biggest problem with faction balance throughout the game has been racials. Like,
I feel like if you're an Alliance
or just take them out, just take them out.
If you get undead, if you go through this long quest chain to get undead racials, I feel like that turns you into a Horde and you're no longer allowed to raid with your Alliance members.
Oh, damn it. That was something.
Because you're a traitor.
That was something I wanted to bring up last week. Like, you should be able to just like change factions. Like, that would be a way to fix it too. Like, there's a long quest chain to betray your faction so that you can go as a human, be a human Horde. Like, it is kind of like.
There already is a long quest chain. It's a $20 quest chain in the store.
North
as a Horde, I would not accept
an 80 level quest chain.
No. North, the mage made a great point on Countdown to Classic, whereas like it's extremely absurd and borderline racist that you're forced to fight for the Alliance because you're human. Maybe you agree with the Horde's plight. Like,
then you're undead.
You just have to.
You know what the difference is?
Alliance, like,
you know what the difference is that you have the ability to be a different race.
Like,
Nobody, you were not born in to the human race. You could go create.
I identify as a human.
That's fine.
Or
and guess what? There are probably some orcs that identify as a human too, okay? And that's fine.
But
you can be an orc and identify as a human.
And I want to be Horde. So how dare you? How dare you?
No, move on. You're done.
They can't do any long quest chains right now. They're just recoding Mak'gora for the 7th time. So
yeah,
all right,
they're busy, guys.
All right,
classic era.
I will say either of those options is good, but racials, screw us. Either take racials out of the game, let us have a quest to like get whatever racial we want, or you could have stipulations, or let us just change factions, like, which would be really fun. I think that would be really fun. But yeah, those are my 3 things there. Moving on.
Bobby, we need to have a talk about this World of Warcraft Classic. Do I look like I know what a WoW token is?
All right, so we got a couple of voicemails and we got some Discord questions. Now, we got 4 voicemails from one guy, and I appreciate it, but in the future, let's have some questions in there. I'm going to play 2 of yours throughout the thing. Well, actually, depending on the time, we might not get to the second one, but I'm going to play your first one now. But like, at least specify this is the one you want played on the show, because I did appreciate your commentary, but I'm not going to play like the 2.5 minute ones like on the show. So I do appreciate it, but like maybe specify at the start, hey, this was just for you. I just wanted to say I agree with this, and then like say, hey, this is for the show or something like that. But I did appreciate it, but yeah, it was like he just kept thinking of things he wanted to say.
There.
Hey, Warcraft Reloaded. I was just listening to your podcast with Josh Corbett. And you guys were talking about player attitudes and I guess whatever you call the equivalent of net decking in other games, which is, you know, looking up a guide and following the meta. And I just want to say it's really funny hearing you guys talk about it, and I think Josh did mention that this is like a universal gamer thing. But as someone who plays competitively in a few different games, not all at the same time, but, you know, play competitively in one game and then for a year maybe do another one, and how it's totally the same song and dance no matter where you go. And how, even as someone who's aware of that, how often I fall into the exact same traps all the time, and then I just stop and look at myself and go, what are you doing? you know better. So I just want to point out, especially because right now I'm playing League, especially if you're playing League, everything he's saying, I mean, he might as well just start becoming a coach, because he's got the mental game for anyone trying to improve in a game. He's got all the pitfalls all lined out for him. Thanks, you guys have a good podcast.
All right, so I think
first of all, I'm really glad he defined what metagaming was, or metagaming, or whatever he called it, meta deck or something, because I was like, huh, what did we talk about? I don't remember that.
He called it net deck. I would call it meta gaming. But like,
I was just saying, I was glad he like clarified, because that was helpful.
Yeah, he's basically pointing out like the whole way that like we instantly, before even playing a game, go and look up like the best thing. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm doing it in Diablo right now. I just made my new druid, and I went right to Wowhead, found my leveling spec. But what I will say is that, like, I always stress the why. Like, the how is cool. Like, the how is cool. That's a good start. You know, and so, like, that's why I took the build. But by the time I hit 72, I had played for about, I don't know, like, I dilly-dally a lot, guys, so don't give me shit. Like, I played for, like, about 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, I know.
And, like, by the time I hit 72, I realized the Wowhead guide, what the hell are you doing? Like, they had me using talents in Bear, and I don't fucking use Bear. I use Cat to work up. And they didn't have the plus 30% damage to swipe. And I was like, okay, now I need to retool this now that I understand the why of why I'm doing all the different things. Like, I had played Druid at level 70. I had only played a hardcore Druid to level 60. And there's a whole bunch more stuff here. And so I was like, all right, well, I need to respec now. Unfortunately, I just went and trained my 72 skills and come back. So I had to wait a half an hour. But I went in, changed the swipe, because, like, I've found that it's just best to, like, pull 3 or 4 mobs at a time and just swipe them down. And, like, you have bark skin up every minute. Like, you know, I've got 3 different trinkets that I'm rotating through with item rack, like, and I've got that 30-second cooldown of whatever the hell it is. It's like
let me tell
tiger that's like white. But, like, if you figure out the why, what I'm trying to say is the starting guides are good. Like, but if you just follow those, you're always going to be mediocre if you don't understand the why of what you're doing. Like, because the why,
and the majority of us are
allows
okay
you
with that.
To
let's be real.
Improvise. Okay.
I completely agree with that. I think the issue comes up when people, when you become better and you start to make the changes, and then people flame you or ostracize you for making the changes. That is the biggest issue, is when people start to turn on you for actually taking it up a level. When you're not running the exact build on Wowhead because you made it even better, and then you're getting flamed for that. Or you like, for example, Paladin right now, there's a lot of debate about the Paladin, like, gearing in strength, Classic. Like, should you run the tier 8
versus blah 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 too?
Or am I only think about healers. I'm sorry, I'm like a holy Paladin guy. But
okay,
like,
sorry. Like,
there's
prot,
all sorts of,
like, there's a whole bunch of debate with prot pallies at the same time right now with them gemming strength.
Yeah, and there's, like, everything is situational too. I run into this with arenas a lot because all the best arena players always have tons of mana regen on their healers. But if you're not very great at arenas, you're going to take a lot more damage than a good player. You're not going to line of sight up every spell. You're not going to minimize. You're not going to perfectly kite. So
you're not going to live long enough for the mana regen to make a difference.
Exactly. So the best player needs more regen because their game goes on forever. Yeah. The new player needs more survivability. But the build on Wowhead or whatever is always going to be the one from the best player. So you have to think, the why is what you're saying is everything. But then also not flaming someone for actually taking that initial starting build and improving it. And I don't know if we'll ever get past that step.
Yeah, I mean, because everybody honestly thinks that, well, if they have the best spec, they can play the best, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, like, you maybe don't have the gear for that spec, or you maybe don't have the skills for that spec, or you just don't know the class well enough for that spec, right? Like, I feel very confident in my priest and, like, understanding and knowing my priest, right? But my paladin, I was completely dependent on Wowhead and other sites, right? Like, I was not, I didn't have the time to get to know the why and all of this stuff for my paladin. That's why I quit playing my paladin, right? Because that drives me nuts. Because I want to know, like, well, why would I pick this gear? Not just because it's on my list, right? And
it happens especially with leveling. Like, I know Go would flame me for, like, leveling a druid, like the way I do it. Like, I would not have the optimal build, and he'd be like, well, this level, you need to have this talent, right? But it's, unless you're asking, like, if you're just following the build 1-to-1 from Wowhead or wherever it is, then it's usually not 100% optimal. And I don't know. It's just
and I'm not trying to flame Wowhead because like
wait,
they
can I point out something first?
Here, just do it in a second. If they did point out the reason that they took the bear talent over the swipe talent, but it didn't make sense for a player like me who is like using every consume and everything else. It was more like for like a new person with oh shit moments and they have to go to bear, but I'm never going to bear. Like,
and we love Wowhead. I mean, Rockman's great. Everyone's great. Their authors are good. It's just that was our metaphor for all of these websites where they tell you what to do. And if you don't follow it, you might not get into a group, for example.
Shout out Last Cares for the Boomy Wowhead. Shout out. Yes. Last Cares.
Cataclysm, go co-author.
There you go. So don't follow that one, guys. I don't understand.
No.
At your own risk.
Once you get to Kata, cut it off. Nope.
Cut off.
Not good anymore. Nope.
All right, Mel, what were you going to say, though?
No, I was just going to say.
Everybody seems to think I cut you off all the time, whereas you guys will notice.
You do, and you literally just did it again. Like, I was literally just starting to talk.
All through the start of the show, so.
I have an urge to start talking now for some reason.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but I mean, you two go ahead.
Yeah. Whatever. No, what I was going to say is that I feel like I got to play like Diablo because I've never played a Diablo game, right? And Bob and I started playing Diablo 4, and I didn't even know where to look for Diablo stuff, and I really didn't care, right? So we were just playing, and I was like picking the skills that I wanted, right? I don't know if they were the best skills, but I was having so much fun, right? And then my brother comes down and ruins the party and like tells us this site that we were supposed to go look at. So I go look at it and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm supposed to actually do this. So I like two things. People no, I don't want to do it. I just want to flash my like little sorcerer thing at people and have it call it a day. And now I'm so dependent on it though. Like now I always look at the Maxwell site, right? Like I'm very guilty of that. I just actually start to learn after a while what I should be doing. But it was way more fun when I didn't even know it existed. I'm just saying.
That's the whole point though, like, is that like it's not bad to like look it up, but it's bad to look it up and just do what it says to do. Like the whole point is to look it up, use that information to help you understand what you need to do faster. Like
how many people do you think actually look at the Wowhead article and read anything on the Wowhead article, or do they just look
only the
at
talent
the
builds?
Yeah,
I haven't read a word of text in 5 years.
Or just read the talents. Like there's so many people who just like pick something and play it and they don't understand. Like that's why I'm scared about the Feral Druid, because I want to know everything that I can know about it so that I am not like a detriment to my team when shit hits the fan and shit goes wrong. Like,
yeah, so here's what you do. You have
because I know everything to do. I swap poisons like on the fly with the freaking hunter dies on Freya. Like I swap over to Wood. Like I do all these cool things that save the raid that no one ever actually notices unless they're watching my stream. But nobody in the raid notices that I just saved their asses. But like, it's cool to me. I don't care if like they notice. Like I don't need them to notice. It's cool for me. No, I don't. If I did,
I'm just kidding.
I'd be like, guys, I just saved you guys from them. Do this.
No, what I'm saying is you need to have a Feral Druid on here to do like deep dive Feral, because that's how I got way better at Priest. Like Jordy mentioned certain things and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh no, I've been working with Table.
Yeah, that.
I've been working with Table Slam.
Dude, Table knows his stuff.
Kick.com/tableslam, youtube.com/@tableslam, and twitch.tv/table_slam. follow.
I will get around to watching the crit video he made.
Dude,
it's
so
haunting
good,
me
Jerome.
like so
It's
many.
so
I
good.
know it's just sitting there. I haven't clicked it. It seems too math heavy for
mean,
me, so I'm just skipping it.
It's
But
just okay. So
15,000 people have
It
clicked
is-
it, but you haven't.
I don't
What's
wanna-
it
going
is
on?
longer, but like the first half of it applies to everybody, and then the second half is like real feral heavy.
He's updated it too. By the way, he's updated it. There's like he has a spreadsheet. It's all updated for like all the other classes. So just saying.
And guys, we will have a link to the video in the show notes just because we've talked about it a bunch.
Table Sim is
Sometimes,
the
like,
homie.
Sometimes I'll like be doing something and listening, and Bob will be listening to Simonize or something, and he's going over all of these numbers, and he's like, and obviously this is why this means this, and I'm like,
I hate the
okay,
word.
like I'm really good with
obviously.
numbers.
Oh my god!
But-
Somebody
Yeah,
take that out of content creators' vocabulary. They're coming.
Okay, that
to
was
you
not
to
against Table
find
Slant, or
out
that was not
about
against
things. No,
that was
no.
not against Simonize though. I don't think Simonize actually says obviously.
Okay,
Probably
I
not.
don't
It doesn't
think.
sound
I
like
don't
him.
think.
wait
he
a minute.
ever
All of
does.
my videos say obviously a lot.
Dude, why? Like they're coming to no, you're bullshit. No, you say obviously about like repair before you go into a dungeon. Like,
Oh no! Don't
No.
say that.
like okay,
Why?
We have a
Okay.
guy that comes to raid with like 30% durability every
dude.
week.
I am the bot guy that drops bots. Literally, I have to drop them. Like, and they won't say
You're a good guy.
any. Like, they just send me a tell. And I don't out them. Like, it's either they're not repaired, or they don't have their freaking regions. They're like,
But
hey,
the same
make it a
person
bot.
every week.
Every week, yes. But no.
I know.
Okay, so
but-
sure. Okay, so if you are a content creator and you're doing a guide and you're telling people how to do stuff, the word obviously just is dumb. We're
Yeah.
coming to you because we don't know it's obvious. Like, we want to
Agreed.
be taught. Like, you know, like
This is a
you
tangent.
could say
A big
this
one.
might be obvious to
Good.
some of you. But for those who don't know, like, you could say that, but instead just don't say obviously.
Yeah.
And don't say it is what it is, because that's a cop out.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is what it is.
Bobby
Phrasing
hates
is
that.
huge.
I say that all the time. That does have a good meaning, okay? It is what it
means
is.
You can't describe it, which
No,
like-
it is what it is means it happened. Let it go. Like, move the fuck on.
all right,
Like,
all
it
right,
is what it is.
all right, fine.
It is what it is, and obviously are a little different though.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
right.
I gotta have Bobby's back. I'm sorry.
What do we have next?
I want no hit Jerome to read Zim's Discord question. That's
Ooh.
discord.me/Warcraft Reloaded.
Oh yeah, of course. I just closed it 5 seconds ago. It's coming back up again. All right.
Yeah.
So Zim says, I don't think I'm going to do a Zim voice for this. Do you all think the GDKP system will last?
Hold on.
I've been in two
Jerome,
back-to-back 25-man. I'm not reading the wrong one, am I?
No. But you've got to do.
You gotta do
Y'all.
the voice.
You got to do
Okay.
this. No.
Hey, y'all, you think the GDKP system will last? I've been in two back-to-back 25-man TOGC groups with actual discords and credible leads where the multiple 100,000 gold pots got ninja'd. I only see this as an issue due to the token becoming a larger issue due to prolific gold buying and Blizzard not doing anything to the ninjas.
Okay, and I
Perfect.
just want to say, I say y'all all the time. So like I'm poking fun at me too. So like don't take
No,
offense to it.
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That felt great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
okay,
I was
How
like,
does the
y'all.
GDKP system last? It's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And is Blizzard going to ban GDKPs, I guess, is the question.
No, they won't.
Absolutely not.
I don't think they will.
Should they though? I think they should.
I don't.
I have a rant, but
I
I'm
mean-
not. This isn't the time for the rant, but I'll give it later. Don't worry.
No, this is
I don't
the
run
exact time
GDKPs.
for the rant.
I'm
Yeah,
about to
if
run
you-
GDKPs though
if
to get
you-
the rest of my Valinir tokens.
Yeah, we're
So-
You don't have
working
Val-
out a
dude,
raid.
I
We
have
can get her
Valinir,
in.
Val. I have Valinir. I'm just saying.
I'll hit
Wait,
you with the rant. Okay.
oh,
so-
oh,
Do it.
for the audio listeners, Mel just flipped me the finger. I'm just saying.
No, I did not.
No, oh, she did for sure. Go to
It was a
youtube.com/mash
wave.
those buttons.
Let's mash those buttons.
And this is about
My finger
an
was just
hour-
like cocked, and it's fine.
All right, so this is the idea about GDKPs. We all love them. They're super efficient, probably the most efficient loot system. Here's the problem. The original design of the game was around people raiding every single week. They were forming communities and raiding together, and you would be in this social community. And every single week, you would make it it would be a habit, habitually raiding every week. And when you do something every week and it becomes a habit, then you start to want to do it. You start to always do it. You make your schedule around that thing that happens every week. And so guilds over time would last for years and years. I mean, there are retail guilds that last for 15 years where because they keep coming back every single week. And with the classic design and the proliferation of the GDKPs, what we've seen is the erosion of the guild system. And what we're seeing is the erosion of the habitual nature of raiding, where now people, instead of raiding every week with the same group, they might go to a different GDKP. The problem is then that makes it a lot easier to fall off. If the content's boring, you're not going to be playing with your guild because you don't have a guild. You're just going to stop. So Blizzard has taken the short-term boost to revenue, and players enjoy GDKPs, of course, and they're going to lose that long-term guilds that keep people coming back time and time again. And so I think it's a short-term play, and I don't agree with it if you're trying to make the game last as long as possible.
See,
I'll counter that with a little bit of...
See, I'm not interrupting Mel. Mel's getting to go in front of me.
Of course, she's talking right now.
Yeah.
She's
now you're
we
interrupting me.
literally said I'll counter that at the same time, but I'm letting Mel go. Just letting you guys know, you assholes in the YouTube comments.
Okay, so I'll counter that with the fact that a lot of the people I know run GDKPs for either like the 10-man version where their guild doesn't run the 10-man version, or for the previous content where their guild is no longer running that content, right? Now, I know there are a lot of people that still run the actual content, but I think for a lot of people too, it's their alts or something that they're trying to gear up and they don't want to put them they don't have a spot in their main raid. I don't know a ton of guildless people in GDKPs. And like I said earlier, I don't run a lot of GDKPs, so I could be completely off about this. But from the people I've talked to, this is what I've gathered. Go ahead, Bob.
Go ahead,
Bob. Yeah,
I will concur with you that, like, oftentimes in our GDKPs that, like, I run with, like, usually in the 10-mans, there's at least like 6 to 8 people who I'm normally used to running with. They just might be on a different character, right? And like we're all talking about what our guild did. Like, it's actually a really cool way to like actually show different strategies to different groups of people. Like, way better than like any sort of YouTube guide's going to be, where they're going to tell you exactly how they did it for their raid comp. Whereas like a GDKP, like, and in the 25 mans, it's probably like 18 people who are like, who I know, right? Like, and then like the other ones are like oilers, right? Like, and like different people who often, like, I'm lucky, I'm in Pummel's GDKP, like Enigma, like, and like they're really smart people, but like it is pretty, like, it's kind of guildish, like it really is. And it's almost like, unfortunately, the proper I hate to say this, but it really is what's the word for, like, not mutation, but it's like the evolution of the guild model, but it doesn't screw over people. Like, if I need to go out of town for 2 weeks, Enigma GDKP is going to be just completely fine. If I need to take off 2 weeks and Mel needs to take off 2 weeks also, our guild, our main raid, is without their combat rogue, who's like one of the most geared in the group, and their disc priest. And like, where are they going to get another one? Like, of those two classes. Like, that's a bummer, you know? So, like, that's where GDKPs have turned into,
by forcing you, though, to not leave, it makes it a lot harder to leave. So it's almost like you're handcuffed to not missing a raid, which then makes you a lot less likely to miss a raid. So long term, it keeps the guild running.
Maybe that makes it for other people besides me. But I never miss raid. Like, literally, I'll have a temp. I've raided with a temp of 102 in Wrath. Like, I am like. And that's like a problem for like health too. Like, I am going to be there for my guild. Like, I'm going to be there for the GDKP that I say that I'm going to go to, right? Like, regardless, but like, I'll be on my deathbed and I will show up for my guild. And like, is that really healthy? Like, when like a GDKP setup where like your core is basically your guild in that GDKP, and then the other people are people you bring in, and it's neat. Like, other people bring in other perspectives. Like, it takes you out of your what's the word I'm looking, the
comfort
phrase,
zone?
Huh?
Comfort zone?
No, not comfort zone.
No?
Repeat tunnel. Like where everything you hear is from the same group of people.
I know what you're saying, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't think of, like, maybe chat can help us out.
Feedback loop?
Yeah, well,
sort of.
Feedback loop is definitely a way to describe it, but that wasn't what exactly I was thinking of.
That is a great point, though, that you get to do different groups with different people.
Echo chamber,
yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Craig.
That is the best thing when you see a group do an entirely different strat. For example, we did, you remember Vezax from back in the day, you know, months and months ago. We have to kill him every week. So we did it for the first time right to left on the trash, and I had never seen that. And by doing it right to left, you can almost never accidentally pull a second group, and it's like really safe. I had never seen that in like, you know, 6 months of raiding. It was like mind blowing to me, because I just don't do any GDKPs lately. I don't do like a lot of variety.
Well, and it's great because my raid leader Harskar loves the fact, like, he loves any of us who go out and do like alt GDKPs, because he's like, give me the strategies, like, and please, like, stream it so I can watch the VOD. Like, he loves it, you know, like, and like it changes the way, like, the TBC, I found the GDKP strat on Mother, where you stand on the left side of the room underneath the thing. And we had been standing underneath a statue on the right side of the room, which was just garbage. Like it was great for the casters, but it was garbage for melee. Whereas this was great for the casters and melee. And it was just like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And it's just like, there's no like Jerome or Go. Like, if you guys could like tap into this market, like GDKP strategies, like, but like nobody does those. They just tell you the main strat and that's it. And then like figure it out. And the GDKP is the guys trying to figure out and gals, sorry, because there's lots of girls in my G.
Thank you. I did just see the Barbie movie, so that was necessary. Thank you.
It's just there's a lot of girls in Classic WoW. It's freaking awesome. But like,
they have to put up with a huge variability, like a lot of different people, right? So they have to have strategies that work for like 10 different people showing up to the raid. So that's a great point.
Exactly.
They need almost not idiot proof, because they're not idiots, but just like, you know, randomness proof, I guess.
I'll tell you,
they're definitely not parsing strategies. No,
not at all.
But they're ways to get the fight done easy.
So like our guild run, every single fight I think is different than our GDKP run, and it's still the same guild that hosts it. And like, it might be. Let me backtrack. It's the same. Sorry, it's the same with our guild and our GDKP, but like if I go to a pug run, it's like completely different. So like Beast and TOGC, we'll do Acid Maw in the guild run, but we'll do Dread Maw in the GDKP or like the pug, and like that changes, and that's a big change for some people. And then the second boss,
dude, I literally run so Yip gets mad at me. I'm like, all right, who are we killing first? They're like, same as last week, and I'm like, dude, I raid on so many characters, and we all do it differently. Like, just tell me which one.
As a guild for Jiraxis, we stack, and then as a pug, every single pug I've been in, everybody spreads, and then faction champs, we all burst down. We single target. A guild run, we might like cleave a little bit too, but if it's GDKP or a pug, it's pure single target. There's CCE, there's all this stuff. Twins, it's usually everybody single targets. There's like 2-3 soakers. Sometimes like a pug has 5 soakers. It's like, why do we have 5 soakers for a pug? But everything is different from a pug to a guild run in phase 3.
It's because really in weird. A bug you have random healers, right? So there's going to be if an orb hits the raid, that could be a disaster. So you want more people to like offset that. It makes sense. Every strat probably makes sense if you think about like what's missing from the pug compared to the guild run. Like maybe there's less damage, so you can't do it's really interesting to see the differences.
Yeah, and this is a phase that really stands out for me.
Yeah, and this is a weird phase too, because like for somebody who's parse brained, and I know you are parse brained. I'm not sure about you, Jerome, but I know
I didn't parse tonight.
I play healer, so I just forgot about parses. But my warrior's almost tonight. 80, so I'm gonna go crazy soon.
Dude, we 49 out of 50 tonight. We wiped one time on twins, and it felt like shit compared to my 50-50 run as a guild. 50-50 run felt so fucking good. 49 out of 50 GDKP felt like shit. Even though I made 20k gold, felt like shit.
That's my whole point, though, is that like the 50 out of 50, and for anybody who's a casual and there's lots of people who listen to the pod that aren't even playing at the moment and like just taking a break. 50 out of 50, you get a 272 cloak in 25 man if you don't wipe at all. That doesn't mean somebody dying. That means your entire raid wipe. You get a 258 cloak, which is
272.
No, that's 258
for 10. You get a
10 man.
Yeah, a 258 for 10 man. Every other cloak prior to TOGC was 252, like and lower. So that's why it's so important. And there's a lot of people that write it. They're like, I don't understand what 50 of 50 is. There was a lot of people that wrote it about the like.
If you consider there might only be, let's say 8 to 10 weeks before ICC, if you're a serious guild and every time you don't get 50 out of 50, that's one less cloak on a relevant DPS or caster. It's a disaster. And the mood is, that's something that's fun to talk about, is the mood shift after you don't get 50 out of 50. How some people just consider it an absolute horrible raid at this point.
And parse brains like me, I want to wipe on beasts. I want to wipe on beasts so we can try some shit out. Like this sucks. This sucks ass. Like we play everything so freaking like walking on eggshells. Like, and I want to like test the limits of what we can do. And we can't do that because
I've got an idea, Bob. We're gonna run 6 healers in your guild next week. Just keep it safe, okay? No time for parsing. We got to get those cloaks.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Maybe a 7th healer would be nice.
I get the joke. But no, it's like, it is a bummer because like you just don't have that time to be like, oh, I want to do this. And these strategies change. Like the strategies are not good for parsing. Like they're good for staying alive. And it's fucking boring for a DPS. And the majority of the players in your game are DPS. Like, and I play tank. And I don't care about parses on a tank. I just care about keeping my people alive. But what I do, because I play DPS and tank, I care about making my DPS shine. I care about making, like, when I do twins and I go to grab that, like, that twin, I get that fucker over right on top of the other twin immediately, because that's what a tank should do.
We didn't have that tonight, and
I know, because tanks don't give a fuck.
He was like, "Dude, why are you not stacked right now? Like, come on, dude. Like, pull the other boss over."
Or even worse, Jiraxis as a combat rogue. How the fuck are you going to tell me we're not running to the portal? I don't care if Jiraxis is at 5%. Run to that damn portal.
Rogues fucking pump on Jiraxis right now. It's insane.
Yes.
Like, immediately, the first 10 seconds, rogues are doing 30k plus DPS. And I'm like, what are rogues doing right now? Like,
Fan.
I love rogues.
Well, but twins were doing a lot of different stuff. And twins, we really like. Even the assassination Blade Fury mix spec is killing it. Like, me and Cass were like, Cassimo, he's been on the show a couple times. We were like hand in hand on twins. Like, but like, it just sucks because we're worried about living instead of worrying about doing awesome. And like, that part sucks. Like, for me, like, it might be cool for people that like don't want to parse, like, you know,
pretty fun for the healers. I mean, we get like a lot of responsibility. If anything goes bad, it's kind of entirely our fault usually. Like,
it's also the only thing that makes it kind of fun.
Yeah,
right?
There's an actual stakes to what we're doing. Like, I'm never gonna get one of the cloaks or anything, but it's fun to like get someone else a cloak.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. I had to take the dogs out, so I missed a little bit of that for the dog.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Okay, so Go's not here. Like, so I'll ask you, Jerome. We didn't actually
so weird
hit
because
it up.
I have like a static image of the stream. I just paused it for a little bit, and I just assumed you were all here the whole time.
Go just walked off. But what is actual, like, he talked about ninjas in GDKPs. Have you dealt with any GDKP ninjas?
All right. So the ninja strat is, in my opinion, stupid. You'll get banned. The much more pervasive situation happening is you're going to see it if you do a bad enough GDKP. It's called the wait them out approach. So what the guy will run the group, right? And it'll just go really slow the whole time, right? And everybody's kind of committed because they want the loot, they want the gold. But by the end, he will really ratchet up how slow it goes. So the strat is basically you take like 2 hours to pay everybody out. And so you're just like really slow with the looting, really slow with bidding everything. Every bid should take like 10 minutes, like 7 or 8 minutes. And by the end of it, there's like 11 people left, right? And then they never split it the way it is remaining. They split it based on the cut you would have gotten. And this is a legit strat. I've seen a ton. It's not bannable. But you basically take such a long time that you end up with like 14 extra cuts. You keep those cuts for yourself. You pay people on what they would have gotten. And it's an amazing scam, and it's really effective. I love it, and I would never do it. It's like, I don't know if you ever played Hearthstone. There was this strategy called roping, where you would purposely take as long as you could on each turn and hope that the person playing against you would have to go to work or something. And you could actually get pretty good rating from that. Like, there were some pretty good decks for that.
Yeah, I've talked about it on the show before, where I went to these different DKPs and they said gray parses don't get cuts.
Nope.
And
fuck 'em.
Yeah, and like basically they're bringing no pumpers, so you have an impossibility chance to get. Like, even if you're like, I took my main to one of these Naxes and I still only parsed a 56.
Oh, so they stack the deck. Wow. So they generate gray parses.
They understack the deck. So it's impossible to get over a gray parse.
I love that.
Like,
That's an incredible strat.
Literally, like, I'm in Ulduar gear, parsing like 96 plus in Ulduar, all like parsing 98 to 99s in Nax. And I go to this Nax GDKP and I parse an overall 56 because literally the fight times are 3 times as long, but they bring enough healers to make sure you actually can get it done. And
so they bring the 9 healers and then a bunch of gray parsers and they don't pay them and they keep everything.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, and like I talked
Do you think
about
we could combine that with the strat where you take really long time to pay out? So the people that did parse, we can just get them to leave, right? They go to bed and then bam, we've only got to pay out like 4 people. Yeah. I think we could start doing this. It's not technically illegal.
We've got our new system.
They actually paid me out, but like you said, like they're doing the payout for 25 people. And then
they'll never give you the extra
doesn't get the payout, that goes straight to them. Like they're like a straight scam. And I mean, that's what you're going to find if you're in trade chat. And like,
I've only seen one true pot steal. It was in a ZG last year or whatever, ZA, I guess ZA. And the guy just actually logged off with like maybe 5,000 gold. So the true pot steal doesn't make sense because you can make way more by stealing over a long period of time by just, doing things like
long game.
Bob's group, right? With the gray parse strat. There's a lot of ways to make money. Or you could just run normal mode, right? I mean, you don't even have to scam people. Just take 20%.
The normal mode / trophy gold bid.
Yeah, and just make certain things G bid or certain things are rezzed for no reason. And yeah, maybe you sell an item to some guy before the raid starts and you pretend it's hard rezzed or something.
And patterns are hard rezzed.
So in our Discord, there was a few different people who replied to this question, and they said the same thing that I would say, and that's like, you got to kind of feel the GDKP stuff out. Like you have to feel out the group. And if the group is good, like they're making money week after week. Yeah. Whereas like these people that are ninjaing, like they aren't going to last long. Even if Blizzard doesn't ban them, it doesn't matter. They're still collecting you from trade chat. Like you need to search out, find an actual group. The first thing you do when you get into a GDKP server is you look at like any legit server's going to have a channel that is going to be called like payouts or past raids or yada yada. And that if they're doing it right, they're going to show you who got paid, tank cuts, admin cuts. Like it's going to show you it's going to show you the names of everybody that was in the raid. Like that's something that shows you a legit server. If you joined and they have 4 channels like total, you're probably in the wrong place because they just made that Discord server. So
I love when I join a GDKP and there's no like text channels or anything. It's just like a voice channel. And you're like, yeah, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. And if you're a fresh 80, that's cool. Like you'll probably get some okay cheap shit.
Especially something like a Nax. It can actually work out really well. Yeah. It doesn't have to be good unless you're trying to get paid.
Yep. So like you basically graduate. But yeah, like if you got ninja'd, like I highly doubt that was a actual like credited like group on your server. And Benediction, like he did reply and say this happened on shit. I don't want to screw it up. I think he said it happened on Faralita, but like no, he said it happened on White Main, but like. On Benediction, I guess that's mega servers BIS again. Like there's a complete blacklist for GDKP scammers that's like constantly updated and moderated. So
yeah, but who is realistically looking at that list? Like, the people joining the group are probably not. Like, I don't have that list, so I would assume most people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
it's a nice sentiment.
If you use Blizzard's LFG tool and you queue up and you're like, 5.0.
Who queues for a GDKP in LFG?
Me.
Really?
Yes.
How else you're gonna find them?
I would only do that with a fresh 80.
Yeah.
No, we got to get gold, man. We got to get in there.
Yeah, you got to get.
Also, I like to roll the
group.
dice. I like the risk,
Okay, here. All right. My 2 cents is if you want gear, you can go to a trade chat, beginner G DKP. If you want gold, don't go. Like, if you do a trade chat G DKP, do not expect gold. If you get gold, you just got lucky. Cause like even Enigma, like they'll throw up a pop-up, right? And like they'll get like 12 people that are regulars. And then they'll fill with another 13 from trade chat. You're getting lucky as fuck that you just found that in trade chat. Like, that's not normal. You need to seek these things out. And yeah, I wish I knew a better way to seek them out, but like literally just talking to people in your guild, I guarantee you, if you're in a sweaty casual guild, there's at least 5 people that do GDKPs on their alts. Ask them for it. Like, I've given so many people my different connections, like, and I don't pull them in. Like, there's like, if you join a GDKP server, it's a little work to start out. Like, you're going to have to read the thing. You're going to have to click the things they want you to click. Then you're going to have to put like your gear. You're going to have to put like how much gold you have. Yeah. Yeah. So like, that's just kind of the way it goes.
So here's a little bit of drama. I got to bring drama into this.
We don't want no drama.
Oh, we want drama.
We don't want no drama.
Drama makes the content go pew pew. As far as GDKPs, we have a guild GDKP, and then we've had people leave the guild, start their own GDKP, and it's like, whose GDKP do I go to? Do I go to the guild run, or do I go to like the new one? Fuck the new one. I'm going to the current GDKP guild run. The new one, I hope they fail. Like, fuck them. I'm refreshing that page, hoping that I see tons of wipes on that page. And I'm
the worst part is when you see they did 50 out of 50 without you and they had no problems. That's actually happened to me, and it's the worst. You're like, oh, I hope they didn't do that well. Oh, they're perfectly fine without me. They did perfect. 50 out of 50. It was record time. Wow.
We had 49 out of 50 tonight. If I refresh right now and I see they did 50 out of 50, I would lose my mind. I would give my.
They probably did, and it's great. They probably 25-minute run.
Yeah, my Valnir Boomy would be gone right now if they did that.
Also, it's been 3 hours and he's finally mentioned the Valnir Boomy.
I had to say it.
I do also have a tip for GD. If you find a server that runs enough runs for your tunes and they're at the right times, stick with that.
Yeah.
Do not try to like sign up for multiple ones and then like the way GDKPs work is their signups pop up. You like sign up and then at some point the admin says like, hey, you are confirmed for this run. You get a ping. You go in, you say confirm. Do not be one of the people that is signed up for a quote unquote better GDKP and is waiting to hit the confirm button. Like, just don't do that, because a lot of these guys that run GDKPs, they're in all the other servers too. And
am I being called out for signing up for 3 different GDKPs?
No. You could do
No, I'm saying on the same character. You gotta, keep your options open. I got one at a bad time slot. I got one at a good.
Yeah.
Whichever one I get into.
I do that too, but as soon as I get into one, I confirm and then I like cancel and let the other group know that like I like I already got accepted
Oh
to
yeah, that's just
another
good
one.
manners. You got to do that.
Yeah, well, but like lots of people won't, and some people get left out because these GDKP runners, like they all, like all the heads of them, they all know each other. Like they know that you're signing up. I mean, I guess this is at the high end. Like, I guess it's not like, I guess people wouldn't notice this, but like definitely people notice like when you're in like one of the 3 big ones on a server, and like they'll definitely see that you're waiting to see when that roster comes out before you confirm for their roster. And like
that's 100% the case on our server, Fairlena. There's a Discord called Stacks where every run is posted basically, and they have like a global blacklist. They have everything, and they all talk to each other and everything. And you would not, if you miss one of those raids, you're blocked from all the raids. It's kind of crazy. There's like strikes and stuff.
Yeah, so that was my whole point. Like, if you find a good one, just go with them, because like I run like after I ran with Enigma and Pummel and Avo and Dis, like I was just like, well, this is my brotherhood. Like, I don't want to go anyplace else unless I have to. Like, and like some runs are shitty. Some runs are amazing, but you're never going to know that like it's going to be a long thing. Like, you're going to get paid like a good amount over time. And like, yeah, I think that like a lot of people try to like cherry pick the best, and like I think that's the wrong strategy.
Yeah. So let me.
Are we still on the first question? Can I just
No. We are on number 2. We're on GDKPs, which was a pretty big talking point because both
always
Jerome, me, and Go all do a bunch of it. So
yeah. So on Mankirk, a sense of purpose is pretty strong GDKP. Just saying. There's a new GDKP out there that I just looked at their logs, and they had 9 wipes on the last a noob. It's their first week. I'll give them that, but they left our guild and started that run. If you want a cleaner run, that was 49 out of 50, probably 50 out of 50 next week. A sense of purpose is the way to go. Or chicken tendies. I got to give them a shout out too. Sorry. But this new one, I don't know if you want to join them. I'm throwing some shade. I'm a tree. I'm a resto druid tree form right now, and I don't care for them. Yeah, I'm being negative.
oh yeah,
Usually,
well I just
I'm all positive.
I just can't believe you're a tree here. Well, Jerome's getting tired, so we are gonna move on to the next voicemail.
I'm not in any way tired. If I don't get, I'm doing a marathon in October, so I'm trying to get like the sleep tight, you know?
Well, I want to get your thoughts on this next one.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I didn't mean to swear. See, late night Jerome goes wild.
Hey guys, I'm a longtime listener. Had to call in because of Josh Corbett joining the podcast and talking with Mel and Bob. But I'm gonna have to say, when it came to the actual Classic Plus substantive discussion, Mel was the one who stuck to the assignment. She designed a different world that we would be in. She talked about new zones, new quests, and as great as class balancing could be, I think she's right where it kind of fits more of the Season of X template.
I love this.
I'm right on board with you guys with adding Random Dungeon Finder to Classic. And this is coming from someone whose favorite thing was honestly just getting a 5-man together in trade chat and, getting a hodgepodge team to go out and smash a dungeon. Yeah, it took like 30 minutes to get the group together, but, it was part of the fun. But there's only so many times you can do that before you're just like, you know what? I want to treat Strat Undead like I treat Warsun Gulch. I want to be able to just get in there, run my 35 to 40-minute dungeon, have a couple close calls. Don't even need any loot. Just there for the fun, just to press the buttons. And I think enabling that would be pretty fun. Cool. Thanks for a great call, guys. Bye.
I think we already talked about this.
I think I agree with everything he said.
Yeah.
Because he agreed with me. So,
But I think we literally already talked about that. Like, I just didn't remember exactly what the voicemail was. But anybody want to add to that?
I think he was talking about the difference between like our conversation last week on you guys talking more about like season of mastery type of builds and things.
I can only direct Josh a certain amount. That man has a composure, and he starts talking, and I just want to listen. I don't care if it's the question I asked.
I mean, you were the same way though.
Well, yeah, because I was into Bob, what he was saying.
Bob to fuck off. Josh, I would never tell Josh, "Hey, man, shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
I argue with Josh even more than I argue with Bob. And every time he's been on the podcast, I feel like after the podcast, I like apologize to him. I'm like, I'm really sorry. Like, I didn't come off really rude, right? Like,
oh no,
I
Josh
feel like,
loves it. Yeah,
and he's like, no, and I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure because Bob's used to it, but I don't know you that well, so I don't know if you're like cool with that, but I'm gonna do it because that's just my personality. But
yeah, you and Josh have a great rapport. It's probably because he's dreamy. I mean, that's
that just became really awkward. I feel like that wasn't unnecessary.
Hi, Josh.
Is it a good thing he's not coming to BlizzCon?
No,
okay.
Is he not coming to BlizzCon?
I tried to give him a freaking ticket.
He's not.
I know you did. I know.
Okay, so here's the thing with the Classic Plus. So this is for Go and Jerome because I already heard Bob. Would you guys want like changes to the original Classic with like class balances, different X, Y, and Z, new characters, things like that, or did you want like an expansion on Classic where you add in potentially even it's the same zone, but you add in more dungeons and more raids and more things to like expand it in a different way than it went with TBC?
Let's keep this concise because I really want to just at least get to the
I
next
definitely
question.
want. I mean, I'm not going to say the name of the server. That there's like it's got a shell. I'm not saying it.
Turtle?
Like it's like an animal. It's got a shell, very slow,
Like
tortoise. Like
yeah, it's very cool.
The idea of like the
Hell
horizontal evolution. What if TBC never came out? How would we expand the mid game? Leveling gets really tedious in the middle of the game. How do we make more dungeons for the mid game? More, spreading the game out. More to do at level 60. More to do at level 40. More to do at level 20. I think that's the best approach. I think it's a little bit of what Mel said, A and B. We need rebalancing classes, but we also need new content to fill in the gaps. If the game is all going to be about leveling and getting to 60, we need more content for leveling, and then we need more content at 60 as well, because otherwise it'll just what's the point, right? We need to keep playing too.
Yeah.
AKA
do everything.
Blizzard, you need to check out this thing called Turtle WoW. Check it out.
Yeah, just do exactly what they did and do it even better, and we'll be good.
Don't do exactly what they did. Like, do it the Blizzard way, the old school way. Like, take like every MMO that came out after World of Warcraft. They all had something, or maybe a few, some things that were good. Blizzard, you guys at that time, you guys capitalized. You just stole everything good that they did, put it in WoW, and then everybody playing that other game was like, well, yeah, but this is just a bad version of WoW. I'll go back to this. And until MMOs decide to like change from your model, then you're always going to be on top, even with Classic. Classic is better than so many MMOs that have come out. Like, Classic Vanilla is better than so many MMOs that have come out for the last 15 years. So just look at that. You guys are smart people. You guys have a way to do it. Like, just do that.
I'm telling you right now, I would much rather. I haven't even played Turtle WoW. I would rather play Turtle WoW than Cata Classic right now. If Cata Classic released next week, I would try Turtle WoW first.
You don't mean that. I mean, there's so much to love about Cata Classic.
1,000%.
I mean, I can't name anything specifically right now, but there's so much to love.
Dude,
Yeah.
As a boomy, I would play Turtle WoW because I know that there's changes. I would play that before I would play Cata Classic.
See, the biggest problem with Classic Plus is the way that they made gear, right? So, like, they would definitely have to change to rating rather than just like everything in Classic Vanilla was like 2% hit or 2% this or 1% this. Like, you can't do that. You have to do rating so that it changes. But like, they have to figure out a way to like we definitely Blizzard. We don't want borrowed power. You've seen that shit did not work on retail. I didn't play retail, but I talked to a lot of people and borrowed power sucked. That's what I've taken.
I feel like we're going to get into Cata Classic though after this. Are we not?
No, just let me.
Okay.
So,
let them cook.
What you need to do with Classic Plus is basically figure out a way to bring out something different, kind of like how Diablo 4 is doing with seasons. Like, and I don't know that they're doing it great. Like, I don't know much about Diablo 4. I hear a lot of Diablo 4 people bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. I want to find a podcast that's fucking positive like ours, but like I can't. So if anybody could send me a good Diablo podcast, because the one I hear just has a bunch of nerds bitching, and I don't like that. But if you could figure out a way to introduce different items or different things, like enchants that like change, like, you know, we go from this and now all of a sudden we got boomies have this crazy thing. Like, take the most underpowered class and like boost them like crazy
underpowered
with different things, with different enchants. Maybe it's like, you know, you could put gems in Classic, which gems are awesome. Like, you could do those types of things. Do those types of things to like change the power, because like you are going to be power capped, or just like maybe somebody smarter than me can figure out a way to make it to where like you graduate, or maybe you just nerf gear when you go to a new tier. Instead of like you just like nerf. I don't know, but. Yeah, it's a little lot to talk about.
Nerfing feels bad to people, but what I will say,
it shouldn't feel bad to people.
It does feel bad though. Like if you're like super overpowered and all of a sudden you're not with the same gear, I feel like that feels bad. But I don't know. I feel like you guys are still talking about like a season, right? Where it's like they could do this in a season of mastery season where they just put wrath talents in, or where they put gems in, or where they put other things in. Like a Classic Plus, to me, is a different game. Like, it's an expansion on the Classic game that is branching off in a different direction.
All right, Mel, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, Cata, for me, from what I've heard, is going to be at least a year, if not shorter. And that to me is like a season. So, like,
really? Did you hear that someplace?
Shorter than a year.
Shorter than a year would be awesome.
12
That'd be
months,
perfect.
12 months would be too long for Cata Classic. Is what I've heard.
Like, that's what I talked about with Scotty and Willie, like fucking 40 episodes ago, before Wrath came out, when we said, does anybody want Classic? I think it was the name of the episode. And like they like kind of like pointed out, like, you were bored for a lot of times. I was like, oh, well, if every phase was on a 2-month thing, like maybe this would be cool.
So if everything is, if the next Classic is shorter than a year, does that make it a season? Like, what does a season mean to you?
A season means it like reoccurs, right? Like if you have a season 1, you have a season 2, you have a season 3,
and
like,
it goes through the same
until it gets canceled, right? They don't pick
one.
up the next season and of your favorite show, and you're very upset about it. But like that's to me what seasons are. Seasons, and the way that they set up Season of Mastery was that they set up Season of Mastery where they were going to make changes to the classic game, right? They were going to make changes to the classic game to let people like try out those and have fun with different things, like no world buffs or world buffs with this, or more XP and all of this stuff, right? Like that was what the seasons were supposed to be about, right? So we already have a system in place to add in these different things that you guys want. Now, adding in different elements to the game, in my opinion, is what Classic Plus is. You add in dungeons, you add in do new raids, you add in like maybe you can get to level 62 and then you get to do this other raid, right? But you go in a different direction than TBC, and maybe you stay in the old world and you open up that. Like there's so much area in the old world, like there's no reason to expand to the other worlds. Like you could have a 10-year game in the old world. Like, and so that to me is what Classic Plus is. It's expanding on what we already have. And if you want all these other changes and things like that, those are Season of Mastery things. Not that you can't have some of them in a new Classic Plus. Like you can implement some of them in that, but it doesn't I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right. Well,
that makes sense.
Unfortunately, we have to let this buff man go. No hit Jerome. Tell us where we can find you.
So on the Blaze and Bob podcast, about every month or so, it's really a great podcast on youtube.com/mesh those buttons, right?
Look at you.
Just making sure. And I make 2 YouTube videos a week on YouTube on No Hit Jerome. So it's a good place to find me as well.
A very good place to find you. Yes.
Yes.
And I might start going on the Druid Discord again now that I've heard Bob is going to be hanging out there, and Go's probably already there. So
I don't want to go there.
yeah, I think we can just take it over. Maybe become moderators, stuff like that.
Literally just joined.
I know. I've heard. The Druid talk gets around quick.
Yeah, it's already been announced. It's a big scandal.
So okay, so guys, like seriously, check out No Hit Jerome on YouTube. Like I can't tell you his like watch one of his first watch one of his recent ones first, then watch one of his earlier vids. You will be blown away by how much this guy has put in. Yeah,
I should probably get rid of those older ones.
No. They are great. I really think people love seeing like content creators grow. Like, and dude, I'm telling you, like, and I'm probably like I'm friends with so many content creators, but dude, Jerome's videos are like second to none at the moment. I might give Scotty J maybe a little higher because of the comedy, but like Jerome
and obviously the British voice. I mean, it's an unfortunate
true.
reality that
very
he's got,
hard
like,
to compete with.
It sounds like David Attenborough or something.
Dude,
he says comedy, and in reality, he means accent. And he's like, he just
likes the accent. I get it. It's hard. Yeah. I'm working on my British accent. It's just taking a long time. The language course is going slower than I expected. So,
I do a podcast with Scotty. I will tell you right now, there's like Scotty, there's Sarth, and the No Hit Jerome is like above both of them right now. Like, dude, go check out No Hit Jerome immediately. If you haven't.
Before you go, Jerome, you have to do like some pose for Mel for the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
Really quick.
That's incredible. A pose. Wait, okay.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. She's gonna take a screenshot because
can I switch the camera?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 3 seconds.
Give me a better like chin cam.
I'm actually kind of
All right.
nervous.
Oh, this is perfect. This is.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh,
Oh,
wow!
Hold on. I
Split.
gotta.
Oh my goodness.
How do you do that?
Audio listeners, go to youtube.com.
Okay, I got it. You're
Check
all
out the-
good.
Oh,
That was beautiful.
so that's
Yeah.
going to be above all of our heads when we do
Yeah.
this. Wow!
Oh, I hope
Holy
so.
shit! I used
That's
to
fine.
be able to do that when I was.
I don't know
doing
how to switch my camera
taekwondo.
back. Give me a second. Oh, there.
You're
There
good.
we
You're
go.
good. You're good. Well, hey, thank you for coming on the show so much. Like, we appreciate you. You were one of the most requested people to come on the show. Even though the first time you were on the show, we had our first bad review with you on the show. There's one guy that just really hates you. Yeah. It was,
Oh no, I get that. I've caused some issues in the past, but it's all
was
I'm
on
reformed.
iTunes. Like,
But we love you, so we said, "Fuck you."
Oh,
Yeah.
I've
Oh, yeah.
reformed. Things have gotten
Definitely.
better.
well, no, it wasn't like, I don't know if it was like you. Yeah. I don't know
There's
what
no
it was.
reforming needed.
This person
I'm
just
reformed.
made their, like, I think it's our only 1-star review on iTunes, but I
Fuck
think
'em.
if you're still listening, go change that, because you
I
actually
can
know
go.
Jerome's
I can go
awesome.
leave a 5-star, and that'll outweigh it. No problem. So
Well, yeah, we don't care. We're gonna have you on the show as
We love you
much as we
anyways.
can. Thank you for stopping in, Jerome. Love you, and good night.
I love it. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Go. Thanks, Mel. Always a blast.
Yeah, man.
Super Trippy says hello. Just want to say.
Who says hello?
Super Trippy.
Oh, I love Super Trippy. He's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
He's going to love that. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Night.
All right, man.
Night.
Night.
Hey guys, at this point, things got a little wild. Never recorded that late at night, and I just don't feel like the rest of this episode. I feel like it's way too far off brand to have in the normal episode. I apologize for that, but honestly, unless you're just wanting to laugh at us, there's not much you're missing. So yeah, I apologize for that. If you do want to see it, it is on the Patreon, available for any size contribution, like any of the tiers. Everybody has access to it, but I just don't think it's pure canon for the show. So I apologize for that. And the show's still the show prior to that with No Hit is just great, but me and Go get a little nuts, and we bring in like multiple guests, and yeah, it was wild. So sorry about that, and I hope you can forgive us, and yeah, see you next week. Okay, guys, that's going to end out the show. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at WC Reloaded. You can follow the Mash Those Buttons Network at the Mash Network. We want more correspondence. Like, send us your emails at dude.
Yeah, your voicemails, your emails, your Patreons, your
Patreons. Big one. Patreons. Hello.
Twitter messages. Add us on Twitter.
Twitter met like
And
x.com.
join our
is that what
Discord
it's called?
at discord.me/Warcraft Reloaded.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that part. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
just do that
this
later.
is gonna be the worst edit of my entire life.
Mhm.
So okay,
You're
here.
welcome.
Hold on.
Thank
hold
you,
on.
Go.
Hold on.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Go. Where can we find you?
youtube.com/classic CLASSICGHO.com and Kick as well. Kick.com/classicgho.
On Twitch.
Twitch? No. Fuck Twitch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Bob's like, I'm out.
I'm sorry.
Twitch is good. Go to Twitch. And I'm like, no, don't go to Twitch.
And Table, where can we find you?
I'm on YouTube at youtube.com/@tableslam, all one word. And then kick.com/tableslam, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/table_slam. But I don't really stream on Twitch that much anymore, just really hardcore stuff. But usually I'm going to be on YouTube.
Nice, nice. And Mel, nobody cares where to find you, but you can find me on Twitter at blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. And you can find me streaming on twitch.tv/blazingbob or kick.tom.
Kick.tom? Yep.
Or
Kick.com.
Or kick.com. I'm done.
/Blazing Bob. That's BLAZZINBOB.
The editing process this week is going to be hell.
Wait, did Go really spell classic wrong?
I mean, probably you said .com at the end of a YouTube URL.
Hey.
And you forgot the ad.
If you know, you know. If you're already subscribed, bro.
Make sure to use code RELOADED at Rested XP.
Fuck Rested XP.
Never, ever again will we do a podcast this late. Ever, 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 ever.
Oh, you're a bad influence.
Go's idea, and it was a Goat idea.
You guys, I feel like I was pretty much an adult.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you sucked ass.
I think
I was kind of a responsible adult.
Yeah,
no,
I was kind of a responsible chaperone
definitely
adult.
weren't. You definitely weren't.
I mean, I definitely left the party when it got crazy, and I was like, okay, I need a break. But other than that,
yeah,
I
but
take
like
full responsibility. Like if
it
you didn't like his
like
episode,
we're gonna have
don't
to
take it out
take
on Bob.
out.
Don't take it out on Mel. Take it out on Classic Go. Like,
But
still
we're gonna
subscribe
have to
Bob
take
and
out
Mel.
the Bob, you're wrong, and Mel, you're always right, because like tonight it just wasn't the case. Thank you very much for checking out Warcraft Reloaded podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future content.